Testing. 1, 2, 3. Am I loud and clear? Can anyone hear me? Mic check. Mic check. Yeah, I should be heard because my audio avatar is quivering. So that's usually a sign that it's working. Yeah. Mic check. All right. Okay. Now I'm switching on the camera. Voila. Yeah. Oh dear. My background is in a mess. Okay. Oh my god, my bed. What happened to my bed? Oh my god, I should have done some spring cleaning. I'm really sorry about the background. Right, I just came back from work, by the way, in case you guys are wondering why there's a hell of a mess behind me. Oh my god, I should have checked that first before going live. Oops. My bad. Anyways, I think what's coming is much more important anyway than my poor background. So let me see now. Wait, hang on. I need to pull up the. All right, I got the interview. It's there. Oh no, this is the full debate. I think. No, no. Okay, never mind. It's fine. It's from Piers Morgan's side, but okay, fine. Yeah. So, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, brothers and sisters in Islam. Welcome to yet another live stream from your favorite Muslim apologist, the Muslim apologist, and I'm your host, MENJ. Yes. Before I begin, I would like to apologize because yesterday I was supposed to do the live stream. Okay, and I set the time. I did set the time at around 11:45 p.m. Malaysian time, right? So it was supposed to be late night, near close to midnight even in Malaysia. But you know what happened? I actually fell asleep at around 10 and I did not wake up until it was 4 a.m. So one moment I was sitting on the bed waiting for my yeah, I was downloading some stuff, so waiting for my download to complete. And the next moment I was waking up from the bed and I checked the time. Basically, I asked my Google assistant, "Hey Google, what time is it now?" It's 9:12 p.m. Yeah. So it's actually telling me that it's 9:12 p.m. now Malaysian time. But when I said that, the Google Assistant told me that it was 4 a.m. and I was shocked because I realized that I was supposed to do the live stream much earlier than that. So yeah, my bad. So I apologize for those. I truly, deeply, honestly apologize. Uh, the different kind of apology that is. I really apologize. I'm really am sorry for I know that some of you were waiting for me to appear, but because of my sloppiness, I was really dead tired. I mean, but it's not an excuse because I did set the time at 11:45 p.m. But anyways, I hope that you forgive me for that. But anyways, let me see now. So before I continue, of course, cue in intro. All right, so we're back again. All right, for another live stream session. Yeah. So, but before I continue, I think I should read some of the comments here. Okay, so Brother Alham has commented, Piers Morgan is being just being himself again. I couldn't agree more. Okay. Honestly, I haven't actually heard of Piers Morgan prior to the. I think there was one video which I came across by chance, where he was handling this talk show, but I never really paid attention to him until very recently. And yeah, it was before hijab's uh interview debate. I'm not really sure what to call it, but yeah, I came across this character much earlier, but I didn't really pay attention to him until the most recent debate, of course. And last night there was a live stream in my time. Last night there was this live stream featuring a brother, but something I don't remember. He's a comedian, so he was sarcastically um, presenting the Palestinian case, and I really truly enjoyed that because I think Piers Morgan was just lapping it up because he didn't realize that it was actually all sarcasm. So I'm going to bring Brother Islamic Calling on board because he has appeared on stage. So assalamualaikum, brother.
Walaikum assalam, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's just that I just came back from work and came rushing
By
back
the way,
home.
what happened on yesterday?
Oh, I don't. I fell asleep. I fell asleep. That's what happened. That's what happened. Okay, it's totally my fault. Yeah, I shouldn't have fallen asleep, but I did. And yeah, because I didn't realize how exhausted I was until I actually fell asleep and I woke up at 4 a.m.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, when I woke up, the lights were still on. Okay, the lights were all bright and shining, and was wondering what time. And I was wondering what time was it, and I was supposed to do the live stream, right? Then when I checked the time, it was 4 a.m. Oh my god, I missed the I missed my own live stream by several hours. Okay, so yeah, it was that bad. Okay, but anyways, I'm going to read some of the comments. I think some of the brothers have given
yeah, I
salams
mean
here.
it happens.
Yeah, it happens, right? So, Brother Siko, Walaikum Salam warahmatullah. Oh, Brother Muhammad is here. Walaikum Salam warahmatullah. Yeah, and then testing and all that. By the way, there's 8 people watching this live stream now. Will you believe it? That's quite a lot,
Alhamdulillah.
considering that.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the
alhamdulillah.
way,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you see the exchange that happened between Bassam
Yes, I did. I did.
and
I was just mentioning that. I was just mentioning that was awesome, man.
actually, you
I
know
think we
what?
should.
We
Yeah.
should also react to that. At least the first five
Let's do
minutes.
that on your channel because I'm reacting to Piers Morgan Morgan's interview
I mean, he was
with hijab.
absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant. Honestly,
Oh,
I think he was better than
excellent.
Hijab.
He was excellent. He was the way that he
Yeah, yeah.
presented the case was excellent. No, it's not a matter of being better or not. I think he's appealing to a different audience, and hijab was appealing to a different audience. That's all. Yeah. So it's the way is how you present your arguments to different audiences in order to understand what the conflict is about. You see. So, brother Sini Football is here too. He's my number one fan. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. By the way, I want to apologize for having kept you waiting for so long yesterday, but I fell asleep and I didn't start the live stream. All right, really apologize for that. Brother Servant of Allah, brother Dawood is here. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Did you watch Bassam versus Pierce? I was just mentioning it. With brother Islamic calling. So anyway, brother Islamic calling. Do you want to start the show right
Yeah,
now?
sure, sure, sure.
Right, let's do it. All right. You didn't switch on your camera.
Yeah, I don't have the camera right now. Is
All
that
right, it's
okay
all
if
right.
I do it like this?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean it's fine. It's up to you. I'm not forcing anyone to switch on their cameras anyway. Yeah. So I guess let's begin, shall we?
Sure, sure.
All right.
The Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro on the crisis in Israel. His powerful emotional analysis made headlines around the world. 5 million people have watched that interview so far, a measure of the enormous emotion and division this conflict has awoken. Well, among those viewers was MOHAMMED Hijab, controversial pro-Palestine influencer with nearly 1 million YouTube subscribers of his own. Here's what he had to say about it.
Do you think Piers Morgan, on fair grounds, would try and speak to me about an issue like this? Or Ben Shapiro, when they know what I'm going to come with?
By the way, do you know?
No.
Can you pause it?
Don't pretend.
Do you know why Piers actually played this segment? It's to kind of embarrass him, to show, oh look, he said that. Yeah, I'm not going to invite him, but I invited him. You know.
Yeah, kind of. I think
And
that
yet
was the reason.
he only gave him like 20 minutes, and Ben Shapiro got like 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. And he had to end the show quite early, I noticed. Anyway, we will be commenting. We had to comment about that later anyway. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's continue. Right. Yeah.
Also, he says that he's a
You've been
YouTuber.
watching my videos.
Sorry, go ahead.
He says that he's just a YouTuber, but he has credentials. Like he has a
Yeah,
PhD. He has academic. He works at Citizens Institute.
Yeah,
He does multiple activism.
Yeah, he just mentioned that he said that why did you introduce me as a controversial YouTuber? Why didn't you introduce me as an Oxford graduate? You see?
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of similar to like Andrew Tate. Like when he introduces Andrew Tate, he's like, oh, he's just like a controversial kind of like misogynist. But the thing is, the guy has potential. Like he was a world champion, kickboxer.
Champion,
and also he's a very successful businessman.
MMA,
also,
man.
like he has, he has he has been active in multiple different organization and whatnot. So
Exactly.
I think it's to kind of like get the clicks, the views and whatnot. But like This is very kind of like he's
I
already
was
starting off at a bad foot.
I was actually quite surprised that he re-uploaded the whole interview, because I thought he would have he would just quietly delete it or remove it from his channel. But the guy actually edited that part and re-uploaded that section, the whole thing. I don't know whether he realizes it, but the whole interview actually made him look stupid. And I'm not referring to hijab. It's making the host look stupid. Okay, but I don't know whether he realizes it or not. You see. So anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
You know what I'm about. Your silence is deafening, and your cowardice is apparent.
Well, Mohammed Hijab joins me now. Mohammed, thank you very much for coming in. I hadn't actually watched your videos. I have now. I've watched a few of them. I'm aware you've got a massive following. You've got nearly 1 million YouTube subscribers. You're an influential person, and you have a lot to say about this issue, obviously. So I thank you for coming in, but I'm not too cowardly to talk to you. I don't have a horse in this race. I think I've tried to straddle a divide of being fair-minded with all sides. I've had all voices on the show.
I commend you for that, actually, to be honest, for bringing me on. But do realize I did caveat that with on fair ground. So let's hope that this interview is conducted.
I intend to be completely fair.
Yeah, sure.
I promise you, because all I want to get to.
I intend to be completely fair.
Yeah,
the hypocrite says that he wanted to be fair, but but throughout the whole interview, he was totally unfair. Okay? He did not even give the chance to Hijab to speak. There were many times where Brother Hijab was speaking and this guy was interrupting. You see, so how is that fair, man? Fair-minded. That brother Sini says, yeah, fair-minded. Yeah, in the Zionist mind, talking over your opponent is being fair. Okay, so. Okay, anyway, let's continue.
He says fair, and he calls him a YouTuber. He doesn't say what his credentials are. And the fact that he's been working as a kind of like.
Yeah, he's an instructor at Sapiens Institute. He's an Oxford graduate. He has a master's degree. I think if I'm not mistaken, he's doing his PhD. Yeah, he's doing his PhD. I'm not sure whether he completed it yet or not, but he's doing his PhD. So I mean, why can't you mention all this, right? Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, brother Silko actually mentioned something interesting. Piers said he doesn't deal with hypotheticals, yet he did when he asked what's stopping him from being a black lesbian. Oh, I didn't know he said that. Okay. Later on, we will be looking at that in the interview. He actually said this. He said that he doesn't deal with hypotheticals. Okay. So let's. Anything else you want to comment before I play this?
By the way, it's not like matter of dealing with hypotheticals. I mean, like it's a exercise to see if your logic is consistent or not. Like the reason kind of like people have this kind of thought experiments or analogies is to show that whether your logic is consistent or not.
It's sound or not. Yeah, it's sound and consistent.
It's like when you have an idea and you want to test that idea, right? Like let's say I believe that all people in Germany is evil. Then you need to test that idea because you might have a neighbor that's not evil, right? So it's kind of like scientific experiment in logic. Yeah. People do the same thing. So it's not like hypothetical. So I don't deal with hypotheticals. No, of course you do. I mean, it's to test your idea.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, hold that thought, and we will talk about that later on in the video once we come to it. Okay, so let's play the video, right?
Here is a real sense of what is going to happen. We can all look back at. We can all look back. Let me just. We can all look back.
Before that, Piers. Sorry, if you want to say fair grounds, you introduced me as a Palestinian controversial.
I actually corrected myself.
Right. So
I said pro-Palestine. I meant to say pro-Palestine.
So why did the word controversial come into play?
I think you're controversial.
So are you.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
So is the ambassador.
So is Ben Shapiro.
By the way, can I add a caveat here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I think these people must think their audience is stupid. They must think this. There's no way they think their audience has like rational thinking capabilities. Like they must think that their audience is stupid because over 38 countries or something like that, Israel is not recognized as an actual state. Like that's not a small number. That's a lot of countries, especially in the Muslim world and the Arab world. Like where I live in Bangladesh, we don't recognize Israel. And I imagine it's the same there, right?
Yeah, we don't recognize Israel. In fact, in our Malaysian passports, it says valid for all countries except Israel.
Yeah, it's the same here. Like most Muslim countries don't recognize Israel. So to assume that for advocating a country that is currently illegal in our eyes, So basically, you're basically advocating for a country that doesn't exist technically for us in our eyes,
Exactly.
or is
Exactly.
illegal. So it's basically
Exactly.
similar to how it's similar to advocating for a terrorist state,
Yeah.
because they are violating international laws.
Yes.
So to us, it's a terrorist
consistently.
state. Yeah,
They
it's a
consistently
terrorist
violate
state.
international laws. Yeah.
So then,
exactly.
why are we controversial then instead of you guys? Like, I mean, like you're the one who's advocating for a terrorist state or a state that is not recognized for many different parts of the world. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but the CD for is an interesting comment here. To be fair though, unfortunately, many Western countries.
I mean, I don't know if that's true. I know that some countries don't recognize Palestine, but I can't really speak to that. But from what I know, that I think some countries do recognize it. Because
my
the thing
country
is,
does.
UN,
I mean, my country is fanatical about Palestine, man. We actually have so many. We have so many NGOs supporting Palestine that I lost count how many NGOs there are. Okay. Yeah, we Malaysians, we are so fanatically supportive of Palestine that each time Israel does something to Palestine, we will go on the streets and demonstrate. Okay, like what happened
actually,
last Friday.
I'm gonna do some research to see whether this is the case. And
okay, right. So I don't know about Bangladesh, but in Malaysia, I can say that we're very, very supportive of Palestine. Alhamdulillah. Okay, but anyways, let's continue. Yeah.
Well, her views would be controversial.
So why don't you introduce me as the Oxford graduate?
Do you want to be introduced as that?
Yes.
Okay. Or an Oxford graduate.
Go ahead.
Okay. No problem. You can be introduced as anything you like.
Not even sincere, man.
Debate. Let me ask you this: where were you when you heard about what happened on October the 7th?
I was at home.
What was your reaction when you heard?
I was actually very sickened by it.
Why is he asking such a dumb question? Where were you when the attack happened? What does what does Brother Hijab have to do with the attack anyway? In the first place? Why does he have to ask that kind of stupid question?
Now, all Palestinian supporters are supporters of Hamas. Everyone knows this.
Oh yeah, all Palestinian supporters are arming themselves and getting ready.
In your bed, man.
Yeah,
I can see Hamas hiding in your bed. Look at this. Look at that.
I have rockets in my bed ready to fire at Tel Aviv. I guess all they're standing by, getting ready. You see, it's all pointed. It's all pointing in your bed. I have a compass pointing towards Tel Aviv, and with a press of a button, all my rockets will fly to Tel Aviv. That's what he thinks, I guess. It's nuts, man. I mean, this is a really dumb question. I mean, isn't that a really dumb question to ask? Where were you when the attacks happened?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I found a list from ChatGPT.
Okay. All right.
So it says that Israel, United States, and Canada, and Australia, and New Zealand, and some other unknown countries. So these are the only kind of Western countries that don't recognize it. So it seems that UK does recognize Palestine.
UK does recognize Palestine?
It seems to be.
Okay. Okay.
It says that 55 UN members countries do not recognize. So, yeah, I think there are some countries that recognize Palestine in the West, but some countries don't. Obviously, America doesn't. So, yeah.
Oh, this is funny. MENJ has rockets that cross the ocean and go from Kuala Lumpur. I wish I have that kind of firepower, man. Okay, if I have that kind of firepower, I think I would have ended the war immediately. I will be successful in single-handedly destroying Israel if I really have that kind of power. Okay, but anyways, it's hypothetical. Okay, it's hypothetical. Okay, anyway.
We don't actually have Hamas hiding in our beds.
Yeah. I wish there was though. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
And this is something I do want to put on the table because I think it's fair for people to know this. In our religion, we do not believe. Okay, as a Muslim, I am a Muslim, and I do not believe in the killing of any man, woman, or children.
Yep, we can agree with that.
Non-combatants. That is not despite the religious teachings. That is because of the religious teachings. So, in terms of condemning Hamas and just jumping straight,
I'm going to take a bit of a break due to Adhan. I'm going to be back.
Okay.
Inshallah.
All right. Okay. Do you mind if I continue, or you want me to wait for you?
No, sure. Continue.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, I endorse what Brother Hijab says. He says that in Islam we do not harm or attack civilians. So non-combatants basically, and yeah, we don't have any problems with that. Okay, so Brother Muhammad is here. Okay, I'm gonna bring him on. Assalamualaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam. I've got my laptop on. Let me just turn that off. I'll be back in a second.
No worries. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So anyway, wow, we have quite a crowd today. I guess there's a lot of people supporting this reaction video, unexpectedly so, and yeah, because the issue is quite an issue, right? So yeah, I hope Brother Muhammad and Brother Islamic colleague don't mind if I continue, or maybe I should wait for him. Yeah, let me wait for him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, don't worry, take your time.
Sorry,
Wow.
I was training and I was listening to you at the same time. So I finished training, so I might as well jump on. Sorry,
Wow.
I do apologize for
Cool,
that. Assalamu alaikum.
cool. Nah, it's okay. It's all right. Walaikum salam. Cool glasses, by the way. What's with the glasses?
Very
What
interesting
time?
show.
Yeah. It has so far been a very interesting show in the sense that there are actually more than two people watching me right now. Okay, watching us right now. Okay, so I guess the topic is it's something that people have an interest in, because in my previous live stream I only had about 2 or 3 viewers. Okay, but I don't mind that because I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for glory. Okay, so it's fine. I mean, I I'm just thankful that people are watching our stream right now. So yeah, do you have anything to say, brother? Do you want to do you want to say
I think this has really opened eyes, because the double standards that has been shown when it came to the Ukraine and the Russian war, and now this conflict, you can see the hatred for the Muslims. And this is what I've been saying for such a long time, that us Muslims, we need to have some type of knowledge and keep ourselves physically fit and always ready to defend ourselves. It's very, very important, brothers and sisters. You can see this happening in real time, the war against the Muslims, and how they can label the Palestinians as animals. What they really want to do is, what the Nazis did to the people of Israel, they kind of made them into savages and kind of make them look like they are just like nothing. So when we do massacre them, or when we do kill them, or when we do something nasty, but they're savages anyway. But this is
the Minister of Defense. I think he said that he described the Palestinians as human animals. This is the exact phrase they used. Human animals. He called the people in Gaza as human animals. Okay, that's horrible, man. I mean, that kind of language is very insightful and hateful. Okay, and not to mention, of course, the story. I'm pretty sure you have heard of it by now. The story, or that stupid story about the 40 beheaded babies. We're still laughing. In Malaysia, we're still laughing about it, because we are actually making jokes about it, because it's proven to be false. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, the headlines were talking about it, right? In the UK especially. Oh, by the way, brother Muhammad is here, by the way, Islamic colleague.
Oh, assalamu alaikum, bro.
Wa alaikum salam. Brother. Nice to be on stage with you. Alhamdulillah. This is a very interesting interview. I've watched it about 7 times.
That's a lot.
As you previously mentioned, the interview, I think it was last night, with the Palestinian, I think. Brother
Bassam.
That was a very, very powerful.
That was very entertaining, and I think we should do a reaction to that later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I don't know, maybe the next 2 days or 3 days, in a couple of days, I really want to do a reaction.
Before I stop speaking and we can continue with the show, is that every time somebody comes onto a platform like this, the first question, it could be from the BBC, it could be from CNN, it could be from any other media outlet.
Do you condemn Hamas?
Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn what happened on the 7th?
Then everything will be about Hamas. Hamas this, Hamas that.
Yes.
Hamas you have Hamas hiding in your bed.
Well, as a Malaysian, I can tell you that we will absolutely not condemn Hamas, because Hamas has an office here. They have an international bureau. They have a bureau office here in KL, in Kuala Lumpur, and they have officials here in KL too. So no, we will not condemn Hamas.
I think the problem here is with like a lot of Western countries. I just looked it up, which is that they recognize Israel for some weird reason, but don't recognize Palestine. I mean, even UK, I just looked it up. It seems like they don't recognize Palestine. But the funny thing is that they're...
I don't know, maybe Brother Muhammad can confirm he's from the UK anyway.
Yeah, maybe he can confirm. But from what I saw, from what I saw...
All I know, sorry, brother, I do apologize. All I know is that here now, that if you do... like have the Palestinian flag. What they're trying to do is say the Palestinian flag represents Hamas. So let's ban the Palestinian flag.
Wow, that's
they're very, very clever in what they're trying to do. Just like when ISIS were popped up and they had the shahada or the kalima on the flag. So if you had like here in the UK and probably around the world, you have cars with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim written in Arabic on the back, like a sticker or something.
Yeah, that's right.
This was like taken as like a flag of the enemy, and the Shahada itself is a symbol of hatred, ISIS, and we know how it all played out, brothers, when the Iraq war happened and much more than that. But alhamdulillah, they plan, but Allah is the best of planners. Islam is spreading quickly in the West here.
Alhamdulillah.
So whatever they are, these evil people, evil, godless people who are kind of like trying to run the world, Allah is the best of planners. We just got to have patience, make supplication, and help each other in goodness. And this is what we have to do.
So what I was saying, I recognize that they don't recognize Israel, but it's funny because they're the ones who proposed the two-state solution. To the kind of like Zionist leaders. So I don't get it. Like you're going to propose a solution, but you're not going to recognize part of your solution. Like it's just kind of funny and kind of like self-contradictory. I mean, they're the ones talking about two-state solution and they don't recognize Palestine.
Anyway, just to clarify, I don't ascribe to the two-state solution anymore. Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
I can say that. Okay, but I think.
I mean, as a matter of fact, I'll go even further. I'll say that as long as Israel exists, I don't think there can be peace in Middle East. I genuinely believe that.
I'm 200% with you. Okay, actually, that is something that I would say to myself. But,
the other day, I actually recorded a video, basically a documentary. We talked about this, right? So it's basically I made a 2-hour-long documentary going through the history of Israelites from all the way from the Canaanites to all the way now, and you'll see a pattern constantly happening. And so basically, the video will come out, and you'll see that this kind of like this state of Israel has like a pattern. Every time like you have like this empire, they allow Israelites to come in, then they betray them, and then they are kicked out. Then then this keeps happening over and over again. And then they come back and they commit atrocities. Then they're kicked out again. So it's just a repeating pattern, and they're doing the same thing again. Now, of course, I'm not saying this like as like Jewish people are evil or anything, but I think that this idea of like ethno-state, where they believe that this one race of people can rule over other race of people instead of trying to get along, this idea is dangerous. I genuinely believe this. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's any different than what the Hindu believes or what the Nazis believed. It's a very kind of like disturbing idea.
Zionism is a racist ideology. In fact, if you study the history.
And you'll see some of these kind of like illegal settlers. They chant death to Arabs. They don't say like just death to Muslims. They say death to Arabs. It's a racist thing.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, let's continue with the video. I guess.
I condemn not only Hamas, but any other entity, wherein it's proven that this has been done, that the killing of combatants has been done. Therein, I condemn any party that does it. Any party that kills people or strikes at people where it's more probable than not that it will hit a civilian target, I condemn them. And that's why I condemn the IDF. Because when they strike, they know that it's more probably than not going to hit civilian target. They know that the majority of civilians, or the majority of people that are going to be affected, are civilians. We know that from the various operations that have been conducted. We know that because now in Gaza, you find that there is a blockade, as you know, for 17 years, but also they're stopping them from electricity, water, which is a war crime under Geneva 4 of the
yeah,
the
but Hamas drinks all the water.
Convention. So this is
drinks all
the
water. Hamas drinks all the water. Hamas uses all the electricity. So we must destroy or take away the. Bro, you muted.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Anyway, I'm bringing on someone. Is a brother Hasmit Chal. Okay, he's also from. Well, he's a Malaysian, but he was raised in the UK. So, Assalamualaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very good. How are you, brother? Islamic calling, Muhammad Abu Shoaib. How are you, my brothers?
Yeah, I'm well, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Right, let's go on. Let's go on. Don't let me hold up.
you know what we are doing now, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Your good friend here, HIJAB, right? Yeah. You don't you want to mention that you and HIJAB are friends? Why don't you say something about it? Yeah. Why don't you say something about it? Why don't you just tell them? Because they don't know you, brother. So maybe you want to tell them.
Yeah. So basically, I am a Sikh revert to Islam for the past 20 years. And I'm very, very strong into the da'wah field. Alhamdulillah, just completed my PhD in Islamic philosophy under the school of Ibn Rushd and Al-Ghazali. So I know people like HIJAB, Hamza Sources, and all this. Adnan Rashid. In fact, Adnan Rashid was in Malaysia a couple of months back. So yeah, I don't know what so that's basically me. Alhamdulillah. I can't open my camera. Maybe a little bit later on, inshallah.
Yeah, nice.
All right, very good. Okay. Before we continue, maybe I should interact with some of the people here in the comments because they have been giving a lot of comments. It'll be very ignorant of me if I were to ignore them. Okay, so let's read some of the comments. Okay. Okay, the sister Rahima. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Okay, brother Dawood, you are here for me. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I did not expect that. What else? Let me see. Imagine if Putin called Ukrainians human animals. Oh, there will be World War III if that happens. Okay. I'm pretty sure of it. What else? I'll just go through this very fast because we want to finish this video as soon as possible. All right. What else? Brother Sini football again. They don't even want a two-state solution. They want Israel to remain in control. Yep, exactly. I mean, look at the Oslo Accords. What has happened to it?
It has nothing to do with two-state. Like if you read some of the diaries of the founders of Israel, they openly say that we have to get rid of the Arabs. They openly said, like if you like a lot of the Israeli historians, open-minded Israeli historians, have actually gotten into a lot of trouble, and they exposed this. Like a lot of their leaders openly say that they want to get rid of Arabs, and this land cannot belong to the Arabs. And they've been doing this. They openly say this. Like what else to say? And here Ben Shapiro will like deny this.
The guy is also another. I don't know. He's a lost Zionist. Okay. Let me see. What else?
People like Ben Gurion and like other leaders of like Aragon or Haganah, is it called? So all of these kind of Israeli militias, they openly said, they want a land only for the Israelites or the Jews. So like it is openly clear to anyone.
Okay, I think another person. I don't know whether he's a true. I don't know whether he's trying to be funny or not, but he just asked, "Do you condemn Hamas?"
Yeah, every 5 seconds, let's say we condemn Hamas. We condemn Hamas. Every 5 seconds.
I don't know whether it's a true or not, but that's absolutely hilarious. Okay, but anyway, let's continue with the video. All right. So,
let him answer this. Right? Condemn Hamas based on what? Tell me, based on what? Okay. And if you're going to say based on them, what's this decapitating babies? Bring your proof first. Bring your proof, then we'll entertain you. If you don't have proof, go play video games in your mama's basement.
The fantastical 40 babies, which I still don't know where they come from. Why 40 babies anyway? Why can't they just say 100 babies or 200 babies or 2,000 babies? Why 40? I don't get it. But anyways, that's
actually the number fluctuates. I see some places that it says one baby that was like burned.
One baby. Okay, all right. Okay, that's weird, man. Okay, that's really off. Okay, but anyways, let's continue.
By the way, they also say stupid things like, oh, we're cutting off water because Hamas is going to use up all the water. Hamas is going to drink all the. They're going to drink all the water. They're going to use
really
all the
stupid. That's a really stupid argument. Okay, but anyway, let's continue.
But the thing is that they do the same thing in West Bank, where there's no Hamas, as Bassam.
Like Brother Bassam said, yes, exactly.
Also, even before there was any Hamas, they did the same thing. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the reason. If you notice when Brother Bassam said he was talking, right? He asked them a very simple point that Ben Shapiro couldn't answer, Piers Morgan couldn't answer. You can bring Netanyahu, he will not be able to answer. What is new? If you bomb Hamas, okay, Hamas is all gone, finished. So what is new? For the past 75 years, what is new? There's nothing going to be new. It's going to be the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
If anything, if they bomb Hamas, like if they bomb the whole area, as they said they want to flatten it, Hamas their militant activity, they will actually make Hamas more powerful, because now they don't have a base of operation. They can just go anywhere. They can hide anywhere. They can hide amongst Israeli citizens. So how is this gonna weaken Hamas? If anything, it's gonna make them more powerful.
Exactly.
Because these people don't understand how so-called guerrilla warfare works. The way you you don't destroy it, but destroying things. Because the thing is that an open-minded leader would definitely try to make peace, just like they did with PLO. Because the thing is that PLO was also violent before. As a matter of fact, they were more violent than Hamas actually. But they made peace with
they actually sabotage planes, I think, right? Yeah.
They burned buses with people inside. It was way more horrifying than what Hamas did.
Yes, exactly.
And yet, Yasser Arafat got a Nobel Prize for making peace. And that's the point. That's the point.
Exactly.
You don't make peace with friends. You make peace with your enemies.
Exactly.
No matter how much you dislike them, that's the whole point.
Exactly. That's the point of a war anyway, right? A conflict to make peace with your enemy, you see. So anyway, okay, let's continue this. Okay, yeah.
To the ambassador.
Well, I did mention it.
You didn't say it's a war crime.
Well, I think it's an arguable point whether it's a war crime.
Okay, let me ask you now.
They are saying Israel, at the moment, Israel is adamant they are not breaching war crimes, right? It will be determined. It will be determined whether that's the case.
No, sorry.
What is it?
That's incorrect.
Mohammed, let me make a point to you back on that. I think surely we can agree that what happened on October the 7th was a war crime. I mean, when people
say Hamas is evil, say Hamas is evil,
and executing them, kidnapping,
say Hamas is evil. Say it.
Well, Hamas is the most evil ever organization all over the world, and they will destroy Israel. Yeah, they're so super powerful, evil. Yeah, they're worse than Satan. They want to destroy Israel. Oh my God! Okay.
That's what the level of Brother Bassam when he spoke and the way he spoke, the end part. Did you see that? He showed the picture. By the way, this is my family's house. He did. But it's okay. They can die. No problem. They can die. That was like a slap in the face.
That was really sarcastic of him to say that. Oh my God!
Everybody knows.
He made his point, but he really made his point. Yeah, it was an excellent point.
Let's do another stream on reacting to that, because that's just hilarious.
Definitely, we will, inshallah. But let's do the hijab one first, because this is what we plan, right? Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Children, when they're killing babies in their cribs, we can agree that's war crime.
Okay, babies.
Can we?
Surely, of course, 100%.
Right.
But babies in the crib. Sorry, what's the evidence for that?
You don't believe that happened?
Sorry, CNN, the White House, Sky
look
News,
at
which
his
you
face. He knows he
Well,
effed up.
well,
Piers Morgan
you're
knows he
Marcus
effed up.
came in. I saw one.
Sure.
I saw one
Because
report.
usually people just accept it. People
Yeah,
just accept.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
babies were killed. Now that he's actually asking for a source, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Because most of the people will just like, oh, you guess what Piers Morgan is saying? It's got to be true. It's Piers Morgan. That's so sick. That's so sick.
I'm in the mood for hummus too. It's making me feel hungry, you know. Okay.
Oh, you do have Hamas in your home. Shame on you.
I have to order it from Grab though.
You cannot order Hamas fighters.
I'm going to order Hamas now.
Okay, let's continue before I laugh
These gonna give
hysterically.
Netanyahu nightmares, bro.
Oh my god, I really enjoyed the live stream much more with both of you. You're really making me laugh, man, a lot. Okay,
Retracted it
let's
because
continue.
he wasn't
Let's
sure
continue.
about the source.
It's
Then-
unconfirmed by the White House.
But then the Daily Telegraph and the Jerusalem Post and other sources then did publish pictures, which
CNN.
indisputably show babies have been killed.
No, it showed one baby who's been charred, and that picture has been put up on Twitter and has been refuted by many people saying that it's actually AI.
That's completely untrue.
That is true. What's your
That
source?
is true.
What's your source?
There's been a thorough investigation into the
So-
claim that was put up there by
Thorough
some
investigation.
rogue person
Where's your
on Twitter
source?
that it was AI. It has been
Where's your
completely
source?
disproven.
Okay, let me ask you
That
a question.
picture, which was published
What's
on
your
the
source?
Telegraph,
What's your
is
source?
is a genuine,
What's your
legitimate
source?
picture.
What is your source?
Are you seriously arguing that
Yes,
babies
yes.
weren't killed?
No, I didn't say that.
What are you saying?
I'm gonna pause it. How dare you ask me about evidence? We don't need evidence.
How dare you ask me for a source? You just believe it. Trust me, bro. Trust me. It's true. Even though I don't have a source.
Everything war criminals say is true by default.
Yeah, exactly. It's true
War
because I
criminals
say
who've
so.
been
Trust me, bro.
lying their whole lives. I mean, like, do you know there's a video of like Netanyahu openly admitting how he lied to like the Palestinian authorities and like cheated the Oslo courts. Like there's video footage of him openly admitting this.
Really? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised though. I'm not truly surprised.
I'm gonna show all of this inshallah in my documentary. It's gonna come up.
Great.
I still haven't gotten
like
to
what
it
brother.
yet.
Yep. Exactly like what brother Alhamid says. Source, trust me, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah, because everything I say is true, even though Israel is a terrorist state. So everything that I say must be true.
Can we read the Rahima Abdul comment?
Okay, Sister Rahim. Hummus has been around on
Arab dishes long before. Oh my god.
Hamas has been around. Oh my god, Hamas is on dishes. Oh my god, Hamas. Oh my god,
they're using dishes as shields.
Oh, they must be using dishes as shields. You know what? I'm really hungry. I think I'm going to order my Hamas now soon, very soon. Okay. I'm going to order a Hamas soon. I'm so hungry now. Oh, this is funny too, brother Daud. Maybe Piers understood sauce.
What's your sauce?
This stream is getting more and more hilarious, man. Oh my! Are you asking me for sauce? Yeah, maybe he wants sauce. Yeah, perhaps so. Oh, that was so funny, man. Oh my god. Okay.
We don't use sauce in Britain. We don't use sauce in Britain. We just eat them raw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Let's continue with the video, man, before I die laughing. Okay, yeah.
I'm saying, give me a source.
Yeah.
You know full
give
well
me a
you've been
source.
fired from the Daily Mirror for fake images. So you know full well about the
I didn't accept they were fake.
Exactly. The UK government did.
Yeah, they did.
So
Because the UK government, just to be clear,
sure,
had waged, in my view, an illegal war in Iraq.
So you're allowed to go against the government, and I'm not allowed to go against the Israeli government.
Of course you're allowed
so
to.
if I say that a source is
assumptions.
authentic, it's authentic, even if the UK government disapproves.
Trust me, bro.
And I get
Source,
fired for
trust me, bro. It's exactly
like
what Aham says. Source, trust me, bro.
Like
No,
he's saying
it's
that an image. So basically, I think Piers Morgan was fired for faking like an image or something like that, and he's bringing that up, and he's saying that I don't believe that that was fake, but that doesn't prove your point. You're just saying that trust me, bro.
Oh, this is funny. I do not condemn hummus. It's a good dish.
Oh God.
Oh
Terrorist
God.
sympathizer here on the chat.
Oh my God. I'm going to order my hummus, my Hamas very soon. Don't worry.
He's a hummus sympathizer, man. You hummus sympathizer.
I'm a hummus sympathizer. Yeah, definitely.
Using dishes shield.
Trust me, it's halal sauce. Trust me, it's halal sauce. Okay. Okay, so shall we continue?
I've never actually heard of Hamas as a dish. I need to try more Arab dishes. They're actually delicious.
Oh, this is funnier. Long live hummus. Sorry, long live Hamas. I love hummus. I love Hamas.
Guys, at this point, the Israeli are gonna airstriking us.
Oh, the Israelis are going to fly all the way to
human shields. We need to use human shields, bro.
They're going to send their jets all the way to Kuala Lumpur and bomb my house. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, we need to use human shields.
We need human shields here, man. Okay, let's continue playing this, all right?
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, I was the softball question.
I was the editor.
Ambassador
No, they weren't. I put all the questions to the ambassador. I was editor of the Daily Mirror when we opposed the Iraq War, on the grounds that I believed it was an illegal war. Yeah. I still believe that.
Oh, this is so funny. I'm also a hummus appetizer too. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. Oh my God. Let's continue
to this day, I think it stained this country.
Fantastic.
I don't think you even knew that.
I did know that.
Right.
But that's not the point I was making. I was making the point that if you're allowed to go against a government in their classification of an image, then if you have pro-Palestinian activists who are saying, actually, we need to see a source, shouldn't they be entitled to that?
The Daily Telegraph published on page 3.
Should they be entitled to that? Yes
you're talking about the Daily Telegraph said they had independently verified.
Trust me, bro, because I said so. That's it. Yeah. And you should believe me. You should believe me because I said so. Breaking news: Israel just banned hummus import.
And they don't want to be terrorist sympathizer.
Brother Sydney, you guys are anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic.
Brother Asmit, you're quite quiet. Anything on your side?
I'm listening.
Okay. Let me know if you want to interject and comment on anything of the part of any part of the video, right? Okay, yeah. I'm just going to continue playing. All right, yeah.
The picture, Mohammed.
No, excuse me.
If you're saying that their verification is wrong.
No, excuse me. Primary source in academia. I know you've done a journalism degree, which is, frankly, it's not relevant to what we're talking about here anyway.
Probably is to journalism, yeah.
No, it's not to this conflict, but we academics require primary source evidence in order to make it.
The Daily Telegraph said. The Daily Telegraph said they verified the picture.
That's a secondary source.
You may say
secondary source.
You may say
that's a secondary source.
Well, you may say you don't think it's genuine. I don't agree with you. But the wider point.
That was my point.
But
I said I want a source. I just want to see the evidence.
What we're arguing about here. You're not contesting that babies.
Why are you arguing about
source? I'm saying I want to see the evidence.
Why is it so difficult for him to bring a source if it's true, right? Unless he's thinking of another kind of source.
I mean, just think about this, right? Like, imagine a day where like asking for evidence has become like a contention, an argumentative point. Like, why are you asking for evidence? Just believe us. That's how bad it's gotten.
Oh my God, this guy is a joke, man. How the hell did he become a TV host anyway, or famous newscaster?
Because I mean, he started from Good Morning London, right? So yeah,
I don't know his history, bro. Maybe you can tell me, Brother Smith. Yeah,
no, he started from Good Morning London was like a kind of a news show. So he used to talk down to people like LGBTs and all that, right?
Okay, all right.
And that kind of things, yeah. So that kind of things, and then and now he's here. He's got his own show. I guess it's because of the white supremacists that they carry around. I'm not saying all white people are like this, but most of them are reality, right?
Okay.
And that's why they feel like they don't have to justify themselves. They don't have to give any kind of source. Whatever we say must be taken at face value, must be trusted. Why? Because I'm white.
Because we're white.
Right? And I'm Piers Morgan, right? And I'm Piers Morgan.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but here's the thing. Notice how Allah opened his eye. Allah exposed him on the very next day on his video when Brother Basam said, "You did not say this. You did not say."
He denied it.
No.
He denied it. Yeah, he denied it.
No.
He denied it.
Yeah,
He
and
said
then
no.
the Muslim metaphysician Jake, and I think also Brother Jordan M on his video, they exposed him.
Yep, they did. Yeah, I saw the
We can't
videos.
trust you, Piers Morgan. You're a liar. We can't trust you.
Yeah, this white supremacist people, they should really rethink their position. But let me see now. Okay, let's continue with the video, right?
Oh, someone is saying we're anti-Semitic.
We will address that after we play the video. All right.
You're picking on the semantics of the veracity of one picture, which has been verified by British journalists. Why are you picking on that?
British journalists are
some
not
example
authority.
that somehow this wasn't as bad as it seemed.
British journalists are not an academic authority. You know that full well. You've been fired from Daily Mirror for that very purpose. What I'm saying to you is this: putting this issue to the side. I think you're trying to use this as a red herring to move away from the bigger
red
issues.
herring?
This is a red herring because already 1,023 children have been killed in Gaza. That's why. And you didn't ask the ambassador that question.
I literally asked the ambassador.
No,
I said 3,000 people have already been killed in a week.
Yeah. With that, I need to mention that yesterday, because this was recorded much earlier. So yesterday we heard of the story of the 500 Palestinian children involving children being killed, bombed when a hospital was bombed by an Israeli aircraft or something of the sort. Yeah. So
So basically,
so
I
imagine
think
that.
So what happened is that there's two. So basically, the Palestinian refugees are moving from one place to another place.
They're forced to. They're forced to because the
they bombed the
Israelis.
school.
Yeah.
And then they went to another building. Then they bombed that as well. And now they all went into this one hospital, and this hospital was also bombed. So the other hospital that they went to, it's full of filled with patients.
Yeah.
And some of the scenery that came out is absolutely disturbing, and you see a lot of the footage.
Subhanallah,
you see a lot of dead bodies like just piling outside. And the Western media will not show any of this.
Of course they won't. Because they won't. They are more concerned about their fictional 40 beheaded babies than they are about the actual people who got killed in the process.
Yeah,
so it's really horrible.
I mean, sure, they will show this footage, but they will not get outraged about it.
They won't show the actual thing. Yeah.
Because the thing is that the Palestinian lives have become cheap to them.
Yeah.
So it's like that line in Dark Knight, what the Joker says that it's all part of the plan, right? If a truck full of soldiers blows up, no one cares because it's supposed to.
Yes.
But if you have one person threatening a president, all of a sudden everyone loses their mind. Right?
Exactly.
So it's the same thing.
Exactly.
They have dehumanized Palestinians to such an extent that after so many death and destruction, especially people in the West don't care.
Yeah.
This is absolutely horrifying and disgusting.
Yeah. If one Israeli dies, everything turns to hell. But if 1,000 Palestinians die, nobody gives a shit. Unfortunately, you see.
Yeah.
So this is the reality that we live in now. Okay, like what Brother Basam was showing, the exchange rate. That was actually quite funny, but I know it was quite macabre at the same time. But the exchange rate. So one Israeli to several thousand Palestinians. Let's make it a proper exchange rate. That was actually quite funny.
Yeah, I think there's a Zionist in the comment section. Maybe
I'm going to let's have fun with these Zionists. Okay, with these terrorists. Okay. Anti-Semitism, hatred to Jewish people, you guys.
By the way, let me fix the definition. First of all, the word anti-Semitism is referred to a specific type of racial hatred against Jewish people. It doesn't refer to criticism of Jewish people based on their action. There's a difference. Learn the difference.
Yeah. And secondly, we can't be anti-Semite because our Prophet ﷺ was a Semite. He was an Arab. Arabs are Semite.
Yeah, also, a lot of the companions of the Prophet were Jewish. A large swath of Muslims, in the early Muslims, were Jewish. Some part of the Salaf were Jewish.
In fact, the majority of the prophets in the Quran were from Bani Israel, who were Jewish. So how the hell can we be anti-Semitic? How can we hate the Jews? Because most of the prophets that are mentioned in the Quran are Jews.
Also,
Jews.
many Palestinians are Jewish as well. They're Arab Jewish.
Yeah, they came from those descendants. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're descendants.
Yeah.
Like because you need to understand this area is very mixed.
Yeah.
So like to say that make this binary line that oh you know.
I mean those Europeans who came
Jewish,
to
that's not true.
Yeah. Those Europeans who came to Israel are not Jews. Okay, they are Hazarians. Okay, they were not originally Jewish. You just read Otto Kostler's the 13th tribe. Okay, so the Ashkenazis, their ethnicity is actually disputed. Okay, it's not just Otto Kostler. It's also Shlomo Sen. He also wrote this this book called I forgot the name of the title. The Invention of the Jewish People. Yeah, the title is called The Invention of the Jewish People. He also mentioned that the Ashkenazis may have come from the Khazars, from Hazaria. Okay, so where's the Jewish connection? Okay, they don't even have a single drop of Jewish blood in them. Okay, so read these two books. Yeah, I mean,
have you guys seen the Orthodox Jews back in England burning the flag of Israel? Are they also anti-Semitic?
Yeah, a lot of Orthodox Jews actually support Palestine. As well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And we you know, as Muslims, just to add a little bit, as Muslims, and this is the reality. If not for the Muslims in Al-Andalus, Spain, there will not be any Jews. They will be extinct. It is the Muslims who saved them. So go back and read your history. You know, one thing that is really frustrating. They just use words. They just use words without even knowing what the meaning of the word carries. Oh, my friends are saying anti-Semitic. I'm just going to go and call somebody anti-Semitic. They don't even know what they're talking.
When it comes to Jewish people in that area, there were Jewish people living in that area, and there was no problem with the Arabs before Zionists came in. The moment Zionists came in, they started expelling people and causing trouble.
Exactly.
They started bombing civilians. Like all of this history, like there's this great book by Elian Pepe, who by the way is an Israeli historian, called The Ethnic Cleansing of the Palestinians. I highly recommend you guys to read it. He goes through all the
I have the PDF
all the sources from Israelis themselves, Israeli officials themselves.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a very silly point to make that, you know, somehow this is a conflict about Jewish and Arabs, when in reality the conflict started because of Zionism.
Yeah, it's about Zionism. Actually, we are against Zionism. We are not against the Jewish people. I think that should be made clear. Okay, and then he came up with this mind-blowing question: do you condemn? Oh no, I don't condemn hummus. I love hummus. Why should I condemn hummus? I love hummus. I love hummus.
Brother MENJ is a hummus sympathizer.
I'm a hummus appetizer. Yes.
This guy, Major, right? Major, did he not just ask the ridiculous question of that Israel has the right to defend themselves?
Oh yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
From what?
Israel has the right to defend itself.
From what? They are the attackers, man. Come on, you're a child, bro. You're a kid. You need to go back and study your history, bro. To say Israel has the right to exist and defend themselves is like saying.
Inshallah. Let's continue with the video.
Yeah. This is silly, man. I mean, the occupier is trying to defend itself from the occupied. The bully wants to defend himself from the person that they are bullying. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, man. Okay, anyway, let's continue with the video, right? Yeah.
Sure.
In Gaza.
Well, you didn't ask her whether
did you even listen to my interview with the ambassador?
I did listen, but excuse me.
Well, don't put words in my mouth or say I didn't ask a question.
Let me ask you a question. Do you condemn the killing of those children by the IDF?
I tell you what I condemn.
Yes or no?
I'm going to answer your question honestly and truthfully.
Sure.
And because I've tweeted about this, right?
Oh, okay.
I think that what happened on October the 7th.
He didn't even answer the question.
Look where it's going. Look where it's going instead of answering the question.
Do you condemn the Palestinians being killed? Yes or no? Yes or no? And he cannot even answer such a simple question, man. Okay. Oh my
Look at
God.
this had to read about or
Brother,
watch
hijab
on
is
It
very
happens
mad.
every day in Palestine.
No, no.
So why do you care about that?
It
one so
actually
much?
doesn't. It doesn't.
It does
actually.
actually. Yes.
No. The Israeli forces.
got the
This guy's
stats for that.
Israeli
absolute
forces
joke.
do
Can
not
you
go
pause
out.
this for a
Led-
minute?
Wait a minute,
Protective
Mohammed.
edge.
Can you
Don't
pause
take
this
it
for a
out.
minute?
Israeli forces.
My
you pause
God,
it?
this guy is a joke. Yeah,
So,
let me pause it. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
just to demonstrate, like just a few years, I think back in 2015, there was a Palestinian boy. I believe he was like 6 or 7 or something like that, or something. I think he was a bit older. I think 15 to 16. So
Yeah.
this boy was burned alive by Israeli settlers. This happened in 2015. There was
Subhanallah.
protest, peaceful protest, right? Then
Okay.
Israeli soldiers shot at the protesters, like they killed a bunch of them. Then
Sorry,
after
bro.
that, Hamas retaliate by sending some rockets, and of course nothing happens to them because they have the Iron Dome. So then they start
Yeah.
firing back, and 2,000 Palestinians died. So which part of this segment is Israel defending itself? So burning a child
This is very
alive
insane.
is Israel defending itself? Like on which planet is that considered a
Considered
proper
a
definition
defense.
of defense?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm not even
All the
mentioning all
people-
the thousands of children that is actually in jail in Israel right now. Kids.
Yeah. So, Brother Smith, you have anything to say? Yeah.
Yeah, so the Western media comes up with these lies and propaganda, and they create their own story, knowing, I want to mention this very clearly, that the stupid people will buy into this. So whoever right now who thinks that they are defending Israel, just know it's because you are stupid enough to buy in to the lies of Israel and the US. You're not smart. I'm not condemning you. I'm telling you the reality. You're not smart. You're stupid. And that's why you think Israel have the right to defend themselves.
Defend from what exactly, right?
Hummus.
Hummus. Oh, the hummus, the
Stop
dangerous
ordering
hummus.
hummus.
Yeah, I'm going to order hummus soon. Don't worry. I'm very hungry at the moment. Okay, let's continue with the video, right? Yeah.
Us-led protective edge.
Israeli forces don't go into Gaza on
Yeah.
one day and grab grandmothers and kill babies in their
Excuse
beds.
me. Okay.
And
No, hold on.
No, they do much worse than that, Piers. Okay, they do much worse than that.
and
I think-
abuse
I-
women.
rape, is there any evidence of that?
Right, you want to continue? Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing he mentions is that they kind of like kidnapped some, civilians or something like that. So I have something to say about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Israelis have been arresting Palestinians without any trial for a very long
Yeah.
period of time.
Yes.
Gaza is known as an open-air prison for a reason because they cannot leave.
Yeah.
So it's already a prison, So so you're
The
talking
borders
about
are all
kidnapping.
fenced. Yeah.
He's talking about kidnapping, but they're already at war. Like they have done all the offenses possible. Like they have taken over territories after territories, like built checkposts.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
I think there's been like a few, like I don't know at the proper estimate. Like there are countless examples of them like demolishing buildings, kicking out the
Exactly.
Palestinian residents. There are
Yeah.
even cases of where Israeli residents just straight up moved in someone else's house, and then the police kick the residents out.
Yeah.
So in this situation, how can they kidnap anyone when they're on their land, illegally occupying it? If anything, they're the ones that has been arrested. Where the Israelis, when they're quote unquote arresting people, they're the ones kidnapping because they're in the illegal situation here. So he has it completely backwards.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to read a comment from Brother Dread Inside first. Sorry. He says Israel is scared of their own shadows and the sins they have done for killing innocent Palestinian children and their people. Yeah, exactly. So Brother Asmi, you have anything to say to that?
No, I just want to say all the previous things. When anyone who tries to say that Israel, has the right to defend himself, like Morgan over here, Piers Morgan over here, okay, that is. Let me just tell you what that is. That is someone breaking into your home. I'm going to use a reality word now, right? It's no disrespect to anyone. Someone breaking into your home, raping your wife, raping your sisters, raping your mothers, killing you, killing your children, and you are sitting down there, and when you fight back to protect your family, they say no. The raper say, I'm only protecting myself. So if you say Israel have the right to defend themselves, you are no different than the rapers.
Exactly.
By the way, there's one thing another mention, which is that Israel actually has done absolutely nothing to rescue the so-called, kidnapped people. Instead, they're just bombing the hell out of it. They put in no effort to rescue the people that were kidnapped. And the thing is that what's interesting is that, I don't know if you guys know this, Netanyahu is actually losing a lot of support in Israel. There's been multiple corruption charges. So all the money that was sent to to Israel, billions of dollars, God knows what he did with it. All he did was spend it on military. But there's the living disparity in Israel is actually very high. Like that, Arabs especially lives in a very poor conditions. Even with Israelis, a lot of Israelis are very kind of angry with the current government. So it's very convenient for them that at this exact moment this attack happened. So it's like the perfect scapegoat of their own failures, because the thing is that they're not doing anything to rescue the Israelis. If they cared so much about their own citizens, surely they would try to talk to Hamas or something. But they didn't do anything.
They just bombed the hell out of the Palestinians.
How does bombing Palestinians help you rescue your citizens? So this again shows the evil nature of Zionism, because they don't care about their citizens. They just want the Arabs gone. Just like from the very beginning. That was their plan. They're executing that plan. And what's interesting is that, it's funny because, America, Biden, I think when the conflict started, the first thing Netanyahu did is call Biden Sleepy Joe.
Exactly.
First thing they did. And you know what they did? They sent a warship to fight a bunch of people who doesn't have anything to fight back with, and a bunch of kids with
Exactly.
And it's not just a normal. And the thing is that I think one of the brothers that mentioned, do you guys watch the channel Middle Nation?
Yeah, I do.
That brother actually mentions this, which is that Israel was supposed to be the armed wing of America in the Middle East, but instead America is the one that has to protect it.
Yes, exactly.
They're the ones who have to send warships to protect it.
Exactly.
So all these billions of dollars, they wasted it, and and it didn't give them any benefit.
Exactly.
And as a matter of fact, they cannot even rescue their own people. They cannot make peace. They cannot get along with their neighbors, and all the Arab neighbors hate Israel. So it's a failed project. It's a failed American project, and America needs to realize this.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So we would like to introduce Brother Daud here. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Daud. Are you there?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Yeah. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you? Everyone okay?
Yeah,
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
Yeah.
Brothers, do you condemn hummus?
I love hummus. Why should I condemn it?
We condemn.
I'm just following the trend.
Sympathizer
That's
like
the first
Rahman.
question
I condemn hummus.
I'm a hummus appetizer. So yeah, I can't condemn hummus.
SubhanAllah, I just have him in my fridge.
Oh my god, sounds delicious.
I can only stay like a few minutes. I just want to.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I just want to talk on what the brother said. I think we have to remove this word and when talking about this. It's not a prison. It's not an open air prison.
Yeah.
You cannot compare it to a prison. It's a concentration camp.
It's worse than a prison then.
It's not a prison, because in prison you get food 3 times a day, you get water, you get rights that family comes and see you, you have a date where you at least in the future have freedom.
Okay.
You get decent humanity. This is not something that do you see the difference of how smart they were to use this as a word?
Also, another thing, prisoners have actually right. Prisoners have right.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Gallows don't have any right.
So people think like other people in the world, they say like, oh, they're in prison. Oh, say, okay, of course, prison, criminals. So it's logic, right? So yeah. Well, why should we? No, it's not. It's a concentration camp where they take away all their rights, and people who are in prison are in luxury, and this is something that should not. I mean, I swear, people don't know the definitions of what they're saying anymore, and they're just laughing at us, at people who just keep sharing this. And one more thing about the prophets, alayhim salam, they were not Jews. Okay, so this is also something we have to be very clear about. They were Bani Israel.
Bani Israel. That's actually what I meant when I said Jews.
I knew that, Menj, brother. Allah, I knew that.
They were sent to the Jews. They were sent to the Jews.
They were sent. They were sent to the lost sheep of Israel. So it's also not Jews. So there is no Jews, because even if Moses alayhi salam was there, he doesn't know what a Jew is. You tell him what a Jew is, he'll say, what are you talking about? Go eat some hummus. Like, so I mean, you see, so it's the semantics that they play on, and people are just getting and going, and we're just spreading that. But people don't know how this subliminal messages come across to other people. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. I really like the stream, mashallah.
Mashallah. So entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
especially with the food references.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, we have to also not forget that while we are doing all of this in the safety of our homes, and our safety with warm, we just opened the tap, we have water, we have electricity, and we have to keep in mind that we can laugh about those idiots who are basically humiliating themselves online, but we have to keep in mind that people are suffering in ways that we can't imagine, and we should be grateful for that, and we should keep doing dua every single second for them.
Yes, that's right.
And yeah, brothers and sisters, come on, this is just, if it doesn't hurt you, like, then you have no heart, then you're dead inside. So please pray for them, like, ask Allah to deal with the oppressors. That's all we can do.
May Allah SWT destroy these forces of evil that is conducting these evil atrocities against our brothers and sisters, and may He protect our brothers and sisters
inshallah,
and elsewhere.
Inshallah. Jazakallahu khair. Jazakallahu khair, brothers. Thank you so much. I'll keep watching, inshallah, but I just had to jump
away, right?
No, never.
Right? Listen to me.
Never, Habibi, always. Always, Habibi. Yallah, ma'as-salama, brothers. Ma'as-salama.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa
Alaikum.
So,
who's this person? Who is he?
His brother Dawood. He's from
No. The one in the private chat.
I have no idea. HK. Who's HK? I think he knows me. Okay, let me bring him on.
Ash.
Ash, I don't know who he is. That's why I didn't allow him in. I know there's this guy called Beast as well. I don't know who he is. I'm not going to allow people to just simply come in here because I don't want to, prolong.
By the way, this is basically our stream. We should conduct it. If you want to add someone, then you can.
By the way, just to inform everyone, I can't add too many people because I don't want to drag on the stream. This is not supposed to be an open stream, but if there are people whom I know, I will try to add them in, and maybe if you want, if they can stay. However,
apologies to the unknown viewers, but
I think brother HK, yes, I think I know him. So Assalamualaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, loud and clear. You're the one from I think from New York, right?
Yeah, we spoke a
Yeah,
couple of months ago.
yes. I know you messaged. I think you commented in my
chat.
comments as well. Yeah, in my
'Cause,
in my YouTube as well, right? Yeah.
Are you from Clubhouse?
I'm sorry.
Are you on Clubhouse?
I don't understand.
Okay,
No,
then.
no, it's okay. Yeah.
No, he's asking if you're in Clubhouse, I think.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's a software. It's a chat software.
No,
so
I'm on my phone, brother. I'm on the phone.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I commented, brother Menj. So the reason I actually posted that comment. So a lot of my comments are disappearing. So I feel like that I might have to make a new account because pro-Palestinian comments, they're disappearing.
It's quite strange because your comments were, I mean, are appearing fine on my channel though. I don't understand why they disappear on other people's channels.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I know I shared that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I wanted to just make a. I know I just want to point something out that TRT, they shared an original post. Which was from one of the Israeli aides. They posted the original tweet that they airstrike the hospital, and they were saying that Hamas was shooting rockets from the hospital. They deleted that, and then they changed it, and they blamed it on some new militant group. Apparently, Israel was an Israeli airstrike killing 500 people. Yeah. Not airstrike, Israeli terrorists airstrike the hospital, and they killed 500 people in a hospital. These Israeli terrorists.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I shouldn't even call them defense forces. It's Israeli terrorism.
By the way, I saw some like American soldiers actually commenting underneath that. Yeah. They said that they actually seen footage of like the bombs being dropped, and they don't believe, the person that was commenting, they don't believe it's Hamas because they don't have tech like that. The way that the explosion happened, it was very advanced and very destructive.
Yeah.
So the only people that would have technology like that is Israel, because
exactly
they don't have that kind of weapon.
Yeah.
The bomb thing, and now they're trying to say
that kind of weapon that Hamas used is not very effective.
Brother, we don't own the media in the U.S. like where I'm originally from, like CNN, Fox News, Hollywood. We don't run that. America's pretty much controlled by them.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say this. I'm not afraid to speak the truth, brother. Again.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Yeah. So by the way, anyway, Brother HK, continue. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to point that out. Basically, when I posted, just wanted to let you know that these people are
do you condemn
liars, man. And I don't even know why. I don't even know why we call them. I don't know why we call them IDF forces when they're actually terrorists. They're the ones who kill children. They're committing terrorism.
Exactly.
Israeli terrorism.
So anyway, brother, I heard that there was this. I mean, you even shared the news that this 6-year-old boy was stabbed multiple times because of his Palestinian heritage.
Oh yeah.
Stay safe, brother, because you're in the US. So I do fear for you, and for those who our brothers and sisters in the US especially, who may show their support for Palestine a bit too open, out in the open, and there may be this crazy terrorists, by the way, who would try to stab you. Okay, so just be careful and stay safe. All right. In Malaysia, we don't have a problem with that because I can just simply walk out and shout "Hail to Palestine," and I will not be killed. Don't worry. No one's going to stab me, inshallah.
Also, don't eat hummus.
Oh, I will definitely order some hummus later because it's making me hungry.
Just to bring it back, Brother HK, I heard Brother HK said that, alhamdulillah, you're not afraid to speak the truth, and you should. And every Muslim should, because this is one of the commands from our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where he says in the Quran, speak the truth even if it goes against you.
Yeah.
So it is time for every Muslim to stand up and speak the truth instead of just saying, you know what, I don't want to get in the middle of this, fine, I'm doing well, I'm earning well, my family is well, we have house, we have food, we have everything. I don't know, I don't want to, I don't want to get in the middle of this. Like whatever happens.
Brother, I wanted to just point out that because I live in the US, people are scared. You know what? They're scared. They're like, all right, if we're gonna speak the truth, just speaking, not calling for violence, not calling for hate, just speaking truth in the U.S. or in the West, they're gonna, they're gonna put you on a watch list. They're gonna, they're gonna look at you as someone crazy. You're suspicious, because you're speaking the truth. I don't want to stay, keep you guys too long, but I just want to bring you guys something up. America, the media is so controlled, brother. I don't know if you ever heard of this thing called the USS Liberty. It was a ship. It was a ship of American. They were helping Israel at that time. It was, I think it was in '67, and the 6-Day War. The USS Liberty was an American ship of American soldiers, Navy veterans. And you know what happened to that ship? It was out in the sea with American flag. The Israeli, they bombed the ship. They killed almost everyone on that ship. It was American veterans, and they blamed Egypt for it. They said, it was Egypt, so America can go to war with Egypt. And now these people, and they never showed this on CNN or Fox. Even Israeli attacked America, and they don't even know this. Americans don't even know this. Like, they waged a war against America by killing their own military personnel, the Navy veterans. The Americans don't even know about that. You know what I mean? And there's a documentary on that on YouTube. You can look at it.
I think one of the things that the Zionists do to kind of like keep American control, especially, is, again, I heard this, I don't know whether this is true or not, is that they basically use lobbying as a way to buy politicians.
AIPAC lobby. It's called AIPAC lobby.
Yeah. So basically, they buy politicians, and
this is how... you know what's funny is, even, brother, sorry to cut you off. Even I don't like Trump. I'm not a big fan of Trump, but he even said in one of his speeches that the Jewish lobby buys politicians. He came out and said that in one of his speeches that they buy. I'm not a big fan of Trump. I don't support them, but he literally said it that, hey, the Jewish lobbies, they buy politicians. They like to, put money. That's what they do. That's how they pick presidents. You have to show.
And that footage I was talking about of Netanyahu admitting how he manipulated the Oslo Accords. He even openly admitted that Americans will always support us because I know how to control the Americans. He literally openly said this.
Brother, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, Hollywood, and the majority of the people in the United States Congress, they have dual citizenships with Israel. They pretty much own a lot of things. They run the Hollywood. The major adult industry, I don't want to say the P word, but that's owned by them. That's owned by them. They own this and they push it out. OnlyFans is owned by them. All these sick, perverted things is owned by them. That's how they make money. A lot of these in the US, but people are lazy, man. I'm telling you, they're blind. They don't know what's going on. They just see what's on CNN, Fox, and they go with it.
I think this is why I think American Muslims especially have to speak out even louder. Because the thing is that if everyone stays quiet, it's just kind of like creates an echo chamber, and their echo chamber gets bigger and bigger. So there has to be a very strong pushback. Otherwise, it's just they're gonna go even more powerful.
Even it's not even owned by it's not even traditional Christians. They don't even have power in the U.S. Forget about Muslims. Traditional Christians don't even have power in the U.S. It's all Zionist Jewish control. They pretty much own. You remember the Kanye West thing? The rapper Kanye West. He came out. He started talking about all the corporations owned by Jews. Red Media. They shut him down. They took away his college degree. They canceled his college degree. Kanye West.
They even canceled his sponsorship, right? He had the sponsorship at Nike, and Nike canceled it. He lost a lot of money because of that.
That's what happens.
Okay.
That's all. Listen, that's all I wanted to say, brother. Thank you for putting me on.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sure, bro.
Inshallah. Inshallah,
we have
a Q&A session again. Inshallah, I will have a live stream just to announce to everyone. I might reopen my weekly Q&A live stream again at the end of the week, of course. Maybe on Saturday.
By the way, guys, if you guys like the stream, don't forget to subscribe and also subscribe to my channel. Islamic Calling. I'll have a documentary. I'll have a documentary coming out soon discussing the history of Israel and some of these kind of like Ben Shapiro talking points. Debunking them from a historical point of view, inshallah. So definitely subscribe to my channel as well.
Okay. Yes, of course.
You guys are doing good. You guys are doing good.
Thank you, brother. Right. So anyway, let's continue with the video.
We got sidetracked.
we got sidetracked a bit, but it's fine because it's good to have a discussion. Okay, we're not Piers Morgan. We don't ask for, we don't try to run away from a source when asked for one. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We also.
By the way, I'm going to leave soon. Yeah, I'm going to leave soon.
Leave? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But yeah,
sure.
just continue on. Just continue on.
All right. Okay. All right.
Mainstream media publications. But you're going to sit here and deny everything.
No,
right?
no, I'm not denying anything.
You are.
No, I accept that some civilians have been killed. I do accept this, and I already said.
You
I
don't
think-
believe
Asking
any
for
of the
evidence
reports
is
that
not
women were
denying
I didn't say that.
everything.
I said that it's still to
But
be
do you
verified.
think they were raped?
No, I don't know. It's like
Exactly.
the Russell Brand thing. You said we don't know any evidence. So why do you apply two
I'm
different
not.
standards?
I'm
Okay,
saying
so
it's been
by the way,
reported.
when it's Israel, we know they're raped. When
No.
it's Russell Brand, you
No,
don't know
but
'cause you're
Russell
friends.
it's been
Brand is my
reported.
friend. He's
Russell
not
Brand.
Hamas. He's not Hamas.
I didn't know that
Hamas.
I didn't know that he and Russell Brand are friends. By the way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're friends.
Russell Brand
Yeah.
should stay away from people like
Yeah.
him because I do like Russell Brand. By the way, I like Russell Brand.
No,
Brand
Russell
is
Brand
quite-
actually speaks the truth. That's why they're trying to shut him down as well.
Yeah. That's true as well. That's true. That's why I like him for that. But I don't think he's anywhere close like Piers Morgan, this lying snake here. Okay, because this guy is.
You know what I think? I
yeah.
do genuinely think that Piers Morgan is actually trying very hard to fight back. But the thing is, I think his job security relies on a pleasing the Zionist regime. I do think that because sometimes you'll see that he's trying to say more, but he's not saying it. So I don't know his situation, but I really do hope he has the courage to actually speak the truth.
Yeah.
If not, then it's gonna cost lives.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with the video, right?
Clearly not being honest here. Can we all agree that he's not being honest with himself?
He's not.
You can
He's
clearly
not.
see.
Definitely not. He's definitely not. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. And anyway, let's continue with the video, right?
By legitimate news
When it's
sources,
Israel,
which
you
I
know they're
believe-
raped. But when
which
it's
I
Russell
believe
Brand, you don't know.
verified them.
When it's Russell Brand, you don't know
There's
if
no
they're raped.
comparison between Russell Brand and what's happening.
It's the same thing. It's a rape allegation. Why are you stuttering?
I'm not stuttering.
You are stuttering. You don't have
You're
anything to say.
contesting every single thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
the
saying
point.
Asking for evidence. That's how arguments work.
He's actually he's not stuttering. It's more like he's stunned at the question that he couldn't answer. Right?
He's
He was
stunned
like,
that
"Once
people
again."
are actually asking for evidence for his claim.
Yes,
Could
exactly.
you just go back? Could you just go back a little bit at the Russell Brand, and then I want you guys to look at Piers Morgan's throat.
Okay.
See how he swallows his food.
Okay, I'll see that.
I said that it's still to
Well,
be
do you
verified.
think they were raped?
No, I don't know. It's like the Russell Brand thing. You said we don't know any evidence. So why do you apply two
I'm
different
not.
standards?
It's
By
been
the way,
reported.
when it's Israel, we know they're raped. When
No,
it's Russell Brand,
it's
you don't
been-
know because you're friends.
No, it's been reported by legitimate news
When it's
sources.
Israel,
which
you
I
know they're
believe-
raped. But when
which
it's
I
Russell
believe
Brand, you don't know.
verified them.
When it's Russell Brand, you
There's
don't know
no
if they're raped.
comparison between Russell Brand and what's happening.
It's the same thing. It's a rape allegation.
He swallowed his
Why
throat.
are you
Yeah.
stuttering?
Yeah. I can see that. All right, I saw that. All right. Okay, I just saw that. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it.
This
Yeah.
clearly shows he's lying to himself.
Gulp.
He knows
Yeah.
that he's on the wrong.
Yep.
He knows he's
Piers
on the
Morgan
wrong.
just exposed himself by the dread inside, and then
Again, like I said, I do think there's a lot of pressure on him to defend Israel, and he has to do it. And you can clearly see in his body language that I think if he doesn't, he might lose his job. I think it
But
might be
it's his
something
show.
similar.
But the thing is, it's his show. I don't think he can lose his job because the job is actually his to begin with.
No, but even then, especially when it comes to network television, from what I understand, there's a lot of kind of like interconnected things. Like, for example, it could be that a lot of the ads are reliant upon Zionist lobbies and Zionist businessmen.
Maybe.
Possibly. Because you need to understand the Zionists are very, very powerful. They have very tight control on media. So it's very difficult to come out and like condemn it, especially when you're in the mainstream. This is why you don't see. And I genuinely think this is the reason why a lot of people don't come out and outright condemn it, because they need to please the
their masters. They're paymasters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. But anyway, let's continue. All right. Yeah.
You are stuttering. You don't have anything
You're
to say.
contesting every single thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
the
saying
point of
to
an
you,
argument.
at the end, 1,300 people.
Yeah.
Were brutally
2,000
murdered.
people.
Ambassador.
Okay, but do you condemn that? Yes or no?
I don't think.
So you refuse to condemn.
No.
You do
Oh,
refuse. To
by the way, I just
Yeah.
noticed he
Words
didn't
in my
answer the question.
No.
Because you're not condemning it, are you?
What do you want me to condemn? Israel's
Okay,
right.
excellent. What do I want you to condemn? Probable or not? Pressing buttons from the sky, killing innocent civilians, 1,000 of them children. That is a war crime, and that is not acceptable morally. Just like you condemn the other one. Is it condemnable?
I believe, given the scale of what Hamas did on October the 7th, Israel is entitled
to kill children.
No, that's not what I said. They're entitled to defend themselves with force.
Okay, excellent.
Then the question
So
becomes,
kill children. They're entitled to kill children.
They're entitled to kill children. That's why they literally bombed the hospital, which involves 500 people, and among them were children. All right. So Israel is a terrorist state because they killed children. Okay. There's no question about this. All right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's continue.
Seems to me you believe too.
Go on.
Hamas are not a force for good. Do you believe that?
Well, I think that anybody who kills children, and those elements of Hamas who are killing children.
Right, so we can agree. So we agree. So my point is, if Israel's purpose is to rid the world of Hamas after the atrocity of October the 7th, how do they do that, given that Hamas embeds itself in civilian areas in the way that it does? Everyone knows that in Gaza.
Yeah, bro, how do you stop Hamas?
In this third
you literally eat them, they're everywhere.
They should be doing.
Okay, can I say
how do you not
dangerous Hamas is everywhere. You can actually order them through
Hamas is everywhere,
Grab.
man. They're in their bed.
Yeah, exactly. The dangerous Hamas. Oh,
they're hiding in the wall.
I'm a Hamas appetizer.
They're in the fridge.
So.
They're in the fridge.
Oh yeah, they're in the fridge. Yeah, exactly.
They're inside your body and protecting you as a human shield.
I don't like any civilian death.
Do you mind if I answer?
I don't endorse any civilian death.
Well, no.
Do I
don't condemn it though?
Hang on.
Yeah.
No, and here's why. Because I support
Yes,
Israel's
he literally
right
says he doesn't condemn.
Now,
can I say something?
No, one more point.
I support Israel's right to defend itself. Oh, you support the right of the bully to defend himself from the bully. Wow, that's sweet, man.
I mean, the thing is that how can someone like defend itself? Like even before Hamas existed, like they clearly didn't defend themselves.
I mean,
Like,
let's think about this for a second, right? Let's think about this for a second. Israel has the largest military, one of the most superior military in the Middle East. They have nuclear weapons. Okay, they have a reservist army which they can call at any time. Okay, because all of the Israeli citizens were trained as soldiers.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. That's actually something I mentioned in my video, which is that technically speaking, anyone above 18 is not a civilian. They're not a civilian. This is something very important to understand.
So because of these three factors, how exactly are they trying to defend themselves? I mean, do they need to? Why do they have the right to? What are they defending themselves from exactly? And what is Piers talking about?
It's not just that. Like for example, like the excuse that they're using, which is that Israel has the right to quote unquote defend themselves. The thing is that when they're defending themselves, when they're shooting at the crowd of the peaceful protest that happened in 2015. When they're defending themselves when they burned the baby, burned the child in 2015. When they're defending themselves when the Nakba massacre happened. Do you
recall the incident during the beginnings of the second Intifada when the father was shooting his son? Muhammad Adura, I think his name was, and then they shot at the
another
father.
thing. Here's the thing. PLO, right? Yasser Arafat, probably the most kind of like peaceful leader that they're gonna get, and this is another fucking pandemic. Like, you cannot make peace with Hamas. Okay, you can make peace with Yasser Arafat, right? Guess what happened?
Yes,
they tried to kill Yasser Arafat multiple times.
They poisoned him. They actually poisoned him.
There even evidence that they poisoned and killed him.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly.
Of course, the Western kind of like Western organization, they'll say, he wasn't poisoned or whatever, but there's clear evidence that he was poisoned.
Yes.
So so when they try to make peace with you, you try to kill them. Is that defending yourself? Like how does this work?
How is that? How is it this defending, man? It's not defending. Okay, it's disproportionate. That's why Bansam was saying
what's funny?
Rate.
What's funny is that a lot of the atrocities that even during the Roman period, and this is something I talk about in the video, which is that even during the Roman period, the Romans were actually in the beginning were very cool with the Zionists. They even called their state Zionism when the first revolution happened against the Romans. And what's funny is that they revolted against the Romans like 3 to 4 times. 3 to 4 times. Then finally the Romans kicked their ass. They absolutely butchered them because they had enough.
Yeah.
And then a lot of like apologists, well, they'll say, oh, you know, they were just being barbarians and whatnot. And this same tactic is used by Zionists today. They constantly provoke. Then finally, when there's a pushback, all of a sudden they're the victim, and they ignore everything that happened before that.
Exactly. Yeah. So you find that, you know, Piers is using exactly.
Of course, I'm not saying that like, you know, doing atrocities in anywhere is good. Of course, it's bad. But you need to understand, like, this is why we talk about context, and it's important to understand the and see the whole picture instead of that, like, tiny kind of isolated.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, let's.
If you look at the whole picture, you cannot, in good conscience, say that they are defending themselves. Clearly not.
No, they're not. Definitely not. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with the video, right? Maybe I should speed it up a bit because we are running late as it is.
Sure.
But the question then becomes, what is proportionate?
Okay.
What is a proportionate response?
Okay.
I don't have the answer.
What's
because
a
I don't know what a
proportionate
proportionate response
response?
to 1,300 murders is. When 260 young people at a music festival.
Definitely not bombing a hospital.
By the way, it's not 1,300. The number is
I
lower
don't know
than
what the
that.
proportionate response is.
I mean, like,
he's still talking about the concert. Yeah.
By the way, does it even make sense? How would, like, they would kill 1,300 people? Like, are you saying that there's no police force in Israel? I mean, how long were they there for? Like, it doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. Like, they were only there for what, like 6 hours? Less than that?
Yeah.
How many people were there in Israel anyway? I'm telling you, these numbers are clearly kind of like extended. These are not actual accurate numbers.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's even 1,000. Yeah, it doesn't reach that much. There are many. Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Yes, let me respond.
So can you tell me?
You've spoken for about 2 minutes. You didn't do that with the ambassador. By the way, I'm just showing you're saying fair, but you're not being fair.
Okay,
so let me just.
Not
let me
being fair.
By the way,
I'm
the
sure.
ambassador that
Genuinely,
Brother Hijab is talking about,
You're from Irish lips.
he's basically this lady that came on before him. She was all talking about, you know, the Zionist.
Yeah, she was. By the way, that lady was the the Israeli ambassador to the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was talking about, you know, Hamas this, Hamas that.
Yeah,
Hamas
hummus.
is
I
in
love
the Palestinian
hummus.
buildings, all that.
I'm a
people
hummus
chanting for
appetizer,
Palestine.
man. Yeah, hail all
Palestinian
hummus.
activists are like,
I love
have
hummus.
Hamas hiding in their bag, you know.
I love hummus. I do not condemn hummus. I love hummus.
Condemn hummus, bro.
Oh, no way, man.
Sympathizer.
I'm a hummus appetizer, definitely. Yes. Okay, let's continue. Right.
Yeah.
IRA in Belfast, and they were occupying council properties and so on. And then we have a plane of RAF going to destroy that council property, destroy all of Belfast, flatten it, as one representative said, Gottlieb. The IDF said that, one of the IDF members said that we will flatten it completely. That's what we want to do. We don't care about accuracy, he said. We care about damage. That's what he said. We didn't question her about that. But anyway, if the RAF were to then go into Belfast and flatten, as the IDF and these guys want to do, if they want to flatten Belfast with all the white people, I'm going to use the term white, all the white people, council estates living in there, with the excuse that we're doing it because it's proportionate defense to the terrorists. What would you say about that?
Here's what I would say to you.
Is that acceptable or unacceptable?
Here's what I would say to you.
Yeah.
The IRA committed a series of atrocities over numerous decades. They targeted, in their eyes, military and political targets. They usually gave some form of warning, not always.
Okay.
They
were terrorists.
No, they were terrorists.
Sure.
They never ever went out one day and committed the barbaric slaughter of 3,500.
If they did.
No, Mohammed.
If they did.
Here's why it's not irrelevant.
Okay.
They never did.
But if they did,
They never did.
Did you accept the IRA to flatten
By the way,
Belfast?
there were outrages committed.
Oh my God, that's not.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
There's actually a great movie by Jackie Chan. Did you see it? I don't know.
What's
It's
the
called The
title?
Foreigner. Basically, it deals with
Foreigner.
like the IRA kind of like activities and what happened in regards to this.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's actually a really good movie. So it has Jackie Chan in it, but he has a more serious role.
Okay.
Now the thing is that IRA basically has kind of like this kind of like you know, blowing suicide bombing and this kind of activities, a lot of them.
Okay.
So the situation is kind of similar. So Brother Hijab is not necessarily wrong to compare that. Now, of course, they will say that, oh, these are just military targets. But the thing is that we can say the same for like Hamas or like Palestinian militias, right? They also say that these are military targets because anyone above 18 is supposedly part of the military. So, of course, this doesn't justify anything. But at the same time, the similarity is there. Like, you cannot deny it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I just found this. Yeah, The Foreigner, right? So I will look it up. Okay. Anyway, let's continue this, right?
lawless paramilitaries too.
My question is,
Here's my
if
point.
they did, would
came,
you think it's acceptable?
They never came close to committing an outrage on that scale.
If
right?
they did, is it acceptable?
They never went in and kidnapped grandmothers or killed babies in cribs.
They did worse
They
than
believe
just
they were fighting
kidnapping
for better or
grandmothers.
worse, and I believe for worse. That's why I'm glad peace was found. They believe they were fighting
answer my question.
political and military
I'm
targets.
trying to bring it closer to home.
You're trying to compare apples and oranges.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
It's you that's doing that.
The only comparison that I would say that we saw from October the 7th and what Hamas did is with ISIS.
ISIS.
The only comparison.
That's a terrible comparison.
ISIS
terrible.
by the way, we're playing. I'm going to finish
Ben Shapiro, which you gave the show to him.
No, hang on. I'm giving you plenty of time.
Do you notice that each time Brother Hijab tries to explain something, he always interrupts? Yeah. He's not being fair, man. I mean, the Ben Shapiro was like when Ben Shapiro was on his show, he was like talking nonstop.
He had a monologue, man. He had a monologue.
Oh my god! And this guy Piers Morgan didn't even give a chance to him to speak. Okay, yeah. Right. Anyway,
challenge of a plane flying over, targeting.
But you didn't answer my question.
But that did happen, Mohammed, with ISIS.
Would you accept Belfast to be flattened?
Wait a minute.
Or not? Yes or no?
It never happened. So the like for like is
it's not a hypothesis.
It's not. I don't do hypotheticals.
I don't do hypotheticals. I don't do hypotheticals.
But except when it comes to the lesbians and the gays, only when it comes to them, I'll add all kind of hypotheticals. But when it comes to comparing different quote-unquote terrorist organizations, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that at all. Yeah, I'm going to compare them with ISIS. I'm going.
By the way, do you condemn Hamas, Muslim apologists? Do you have Hamas in your fridge?
No, I don't. I don't condemn Hamas because I love my hummus. I love it a lot. I really do love hummus a lot. Oh my
terror
god!
Sympathizer. You are a terror sympathizer, sir.
Oh my god, that's a very bad impression of a British accent. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's
By the way, if
continue.
any British people are watching, do forgive us. For the terrible
Yeah, I mean, no, don't get us wrong, right? I don't get me wrong, especially because I actually admire the British accent. I actually want to try to speak like a Brit for a very long time, but I ended up giving up on that idea because I just can't. I just
forgot
can't.
to mention this. When the brother was mentioning this thing about Israel bombing that kind of like U.S. Ship, there's also incidents of Israel doing the exact same thing against the British military.
Okay, that's
they
interesting.
killed nearly 93.
I think I do, but I don't really recall the details. Yeah.
So basically, they killed like 93 British army, and a lot of them were civilians. During the period when the British basically didn't allow the Israelis or the Jewish people inside.
You're talking about. I think you're talking about the uprising, the Zionist uprising in 1936.
The thing is that they actually said that they're gonna give the land, but like there was a period where they didn't allow it.
Because of the Arab because of the Arab revolt in 1931 to 1933. So that is why the British decided not to.
They started bombing, and the British
they bomb a hotel. They actually bomb a hotel, King David Hotel.
Killed a lot of British people. And the funny thing is that during that time period, because they were so running out of resources, they didn't want to deal with it. So they just said that we're gonna create two states instead of dealing with this problem of like racism. So we're gonna create two states and get rid of all the Jewish people.
Exactly. Even though those Jewish people just came to the land and it didn't even belong to them in the first place. See, that's the problem. So that's where all the mess began anyway. So anyway, let's continue.
Another thing is that this idea of Zionism itself is racist against Jewish people, because like the idea that you need to get rid of people to give them a land instead of dealing with racism, that itself is racist. Because I mean, the thing is that surely white people can find a way to get along with Jewish people. But instead, they wanted to get rid of them. That's why they wanted a state.
The white people can't wait to get all the Jews out of their land so that these Jews can have their own land out of their own land. You see? Do you notice that?
This Zionism basically perpetuates racism. It allows racism.
It does.
As long as they're not inside their home, they're fine.
Exactly. So national home or something in the Balfour Declaration. Maybe later after the stream, after playing the video, I will display the contents of the Balfour Declaration before I close the stream. All right, just to recap. Okay. So anyway, let's try and finish this.
Let's
quickly.
continue. Inshallah, I have to go. Actually.
Okay, let's do what's reality.
Then you can ask.
Don't ask questions.
No, here's the reality. Here's the reality. Right. Let's just Yeah, they can see it.
Yeah, go on.
They listen to the debate,
Keep going.
right? For what it's worth, I think it's a good debate to have. Right? These are questions many people on the
Good
pro-Palestinian
debate to
side are
have.
having. I get it, right? But you're trying to compare what happened on October 7th with the IRA.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I-
comparing-
Do you notice the text there? He says, YouTuber criticized Ben Shapiro for not condemning attacks on Gaza. Even though earlier on in the stream, didn't he say that he would introduce, he agreed to introduce Brother Hijab as a Oxford graduate?
He said he would be fair. So fair.
Yeah, he'll be fair. Yeah, so fair. Yeah. This is evidence that he's not fair at all, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
I'm comparing. Wait a minute, Mark.
Question.
I'm comparing it to ISIS, and the way that the world in the end dealt with ISIS actually was to use airstrikes.
Oh, by
And
the
many
way,
civilians
another
were
thing.
killed.
It's a huge
Many
difference
innocent people
between
died.
you.
They're not.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
By the way, did you notice how he immediately jumped to ISIS instead of like the IRA?
Yeah.
Because you can't have like brown people be compared to white people. Surely not. So he has to go to ISIS because ISIS is the worst thing that white people can think of, right? It's the mother of all evil. But even then, it's a stupid comparison. Do you know why?
Yeah,
because ISIS attacked both Muslims, non-Muslims. I don't know, like they attack everybody. Like they literally attack like.
Do you notice something about ISIS? Despite all their posturing and everything, they never attack Israel. Even though they say we hate the Jews, we want to kill them, but they never attack Israel. Yeah, they never attack Israel.
Another thing, ISIS was a global kind of like organization. They had a global aim. They wanted to establish something global, where the Hamas only want to establish the right of return for the Palestinian people. This is mentioned in the charter.
Basically to establish the Palestinian state, because the Palestinian state was taken away from them by who else? By the Zionists. So
you could argue that they're going about extreme means to achieve that, but even that's exaggerated because under UN law, Palestinians have right to armed resistance.
I mean, look at Israeli history, man. The whole country, the country existed because of violence, because of Haganah, because of Stern Gang and Irgun, these three terrorist groups. Okay, they attacked the British, then the British
were
gave
absolutely butchers, absolute butchers. If you read 1948 and what happened, absolutely butchered and razed entire villages to the ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so
let's not forget Deir Yassin, by the way. You know
they did the same thing ISIS did.
Exactly.
So this comparison between Hamas and ISIS is a stupid comparison. It's a faulty comparison.
Yeah. It's actually much more accurate to. It's actually much more accurate to compare ISIS
as a matter
with
of
Haganah.
Brother Hijab's comparison was actually fair because IRA I think had similar kind of state-like goals.
Yeah, they did.
It's
They did.
localized.
Yeah, they do. They did. Yeah. They did or they do. I'm not sure whether it's present tense or past tense. I'm not sure whether the IRA still has those aspirations, but yeah, I mean the war in Northern Ireland is no more, so I'm not sure whether there are still people who still want independence.
By the way, it's
Northern
interesting,
Ireland.
but a lot of Irish people actually support Palestine. Do you know this?
Yeah, because they face the same ridicule and attacks by the Western media against them. So they have experienced, they have gone through it. So they sympathize and they support the Palestinians because of this.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of Irish people support it. A lot of people in Africa support it.
The brother said that Brother Siko said they are both created through the same way, Israel and ISIS. Yeah, exactly. Both are terrorists. They are both terrorist groups. Okay, so anyway, let's continue.
And another reason why the comparison between ISIS and Israel should be made is because both of them committed genocide, mass ethnic cleansing, and this kind of like expulsion.
Exactly.
And they both have globalist ambitions. Because the thing is that Israel doesn't just want Palestine; they want Jordan. They want Syria. They want the greater Israeli kingdom that they had before. And you'll see this because they're now firing rockets at Lebanon or something like that. Jordan. They're firing rockets at Jordan.
Not Jordan. Lebanon.
Lebanon. Yeah, and they had wars with like multiple Arab countries already, and they have showed no interest in making peace. They're making peace with Saudi Arabia, which is miles away. They're making peace with like Egypt. Why? Because they want to take over Egypt. It's one of their ambitions. It's like the same thing with the whole Akhand Bharat or Greater India that like BJP constantly espouses. They want a greater version of India that includes Bangladesh, Pakistan, and all this. Same thing with Israel. They clearly want Jordan and all these other countries. So, so that the comparison should be made between ISIS and Israel. It's a fair comparison.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, let's continue with this. All right, it's going to end soon anyway. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think a better comparison would be between Nazi Germany and Israel, because their ideology is basically the same.
I think they are born out of the same pot. You see, they're two peas in a pot. Okay.
Yeah.
Plus ISIS as well. Okay. ISIS is also similar in the sense. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
Okay. October the 7th and ISIS. The difference between the Palestinian resistance is the following. Okay, any kind of thing which has Palestinian resistance attached to it, and ISIS, which is a brand of tekfirism. Okay, is that ISIS is just one of many brands of tekfirism, which you don't know what it is, which is a kind of excommunication type heresiological Islamic sect. Okay, so if there's
nihilistic mass murder, that's all they care about.
Listen, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying something else.
You agree with me, don't you?
I do. Of course I do. But you're not understanding what I'm saying.
This is Brother Hijab explaining to him. You're stupid. Just listen to me.
By the way. Sure. I've always tried to shine a light.
And he doesn't let him talk.
Because you're just talking over me. The difference between the two are the following, right? Even if we assume that the killing of combatants in most definitions of terrorism is something which brings someone to be a terrorist, okay? I would say that if that is the case, then the state of Israel breaks that threshold and meets that condition. Because why is Israel not a state terrorist? If their highest officials are admitting that we want damage and not accuracy, answer me this question. Why is the state of Israel, who are illegally occupying Gaza and the West Bank according to international law, and even the ICJ said that, okay, which is, as you know, an organ of the UN, right? So this is international law. They're occupying, they're seizing, they're bombarding, they're indiscriminately killing, and they're blocking the supply lines. They're using white phosphorus. They're doing what you call mowing the grass, which is every few years, they're killing the Palestinian people. I want to understand what differentiates an Israeli in the sky pressing a button, killing the civilians, from somebody in any terrorist organization shooting the people. What differentiates?
Defend themselves.
So will the
terrorists defend themselves from Hamas?
Israel has the right to defend themselves.
Down with Hamas.
Kill Hamas. Down with Hamas. Kill the Hamas.
Condemn Hummus.
Do you condemn hummus? No, I don't. I love hummus.
Chad, do you guys condemn hummus?
Do you condemn hummus, Chad?
Chad, condemn
do you hate hummus? Oh, I love hummus though.
Hamas aren't defending themselves. Bin Laden wasn't defending
define defense.
Bin Laden was trying to kill as many of the enemy as possible.
Let me ask you a question. How could it be that an occupier is defending itself in the first place? The notion that Israel is defending
itself. By the way, can you pause? I want to explain. I think like this point kind of went over kind of like Piers Morgan said. So basically what Brother Hijab was trying to say is that ISIS basically has this kind of brand of takfirism, which is basically Khariji kind of like, mentality.
No, they are Khariji.
Khariji, it's kind of like mentality. So that's what I was trying to explain. Clearly, like Hamas doesn't have that. They're more like a nationalistic Islamist group. They want to establish the right for the Palestinian people, as far as we understand it. They have no interest with like picking a fight with like, Egypt or anything like that. So this is clearly a false comparison. So that's what he's trying to explain. Another thing that like Piers Morgan says that, you cannot compare that with like Bin Laden and whatnot defending themselves. But the thing is that that's literally the same excuse that like all the supposed terror organization uses, right? They're saying that, you guys are attacking our people, so let's attack your people. It's the same logic. The underpinning logic is the same. There's no difference there. As a matter of fact, it's more evil on Israel's part because it's based on ethnicity. Because people cannot change their race. For example, tomorrow I cannot be like Jewish. I cannot do that. So because it's based on race, and they clearly say that they want Israel only for the Jewish people, or at least a state where Jewish people is in power, that is an apartheid state.
It is.
So it's very similar to what Nazi Germany did, rather than even with like if ISIS did.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's continue. All right.
Yeah.
Israel is the occupier.
You have
hold on. Let me finish. An occupier by international law definition means that they are already in an offensive posture. If they're in an offensive posture, if someone brings you to Piers Morgan, grabs you by the thing, throws you into your bathroom, you're in your bathroom, you're screaming and they're eating food, having a good time. One day you come out of your bathroom, you try and fight one of them, who's defending who from who?
Mohammed,
how can you self-defend?
You know what they all say.
Let me speak. Answer the question. Fine, I'm going to speak.
He's trying to get out of the bathroom, try to fight the people, and they'll say,
trying to fight the
people. Look, the Hamas was hiding him.
The hummus was hiding in the toilet.
He was using himself as the human shield.
Okay, let's finish this, all right?
I believe that Israel's made a number of bad choices.
That's not answer my question.
Wait, I'm telling you what I think.
You can answer my question.
Telling you what I think.
Bad choices.
I don't think
Bad
choices
at all.
Committing
Bad
ethnic
choices.
cleansing is
I
not a
think more
bad
like that.
choice, man.
Yeah, genocide is
Genocide is
Genocide.
not a bad choice.
bombing a hospital is a conscious choice, by the way. It's not a bad choice.
Yeah, like burning a child alive is not a bad choice. Like destroying whole villages to kick them out is not a bad choice. Saying that this country only belongs to one race is not a bad choice. This is evil.
bombing a hotel and killing a lot of British citizens was a bad choice, was it, or was it not? Okay.
No, these are all planned and strategically planned. And there are historical evidence where their own leaders admit they want the land for themselves. This
Bad
is strategic.
choices.
This is planned. This
Bad
is not
choices.
a bad choice. This is
Bad
planned.
choices, yeah.
This is evil choice, not bad choice.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. They are not bad choices. They were conscious and evil choices.
Evil choices.
Made. Yes, evil
They're
choices.
evil choices.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Well, by the Sydney Football says bad choices. What are they? Be specific, Piers. Well, I think we know what they are anyway. Piers don't even have to say it, right? But yeah, those weren't bad choices. They were evil choices. Okay,
Yeah.
like what we agreed on. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with this one.
I think a lot of the decisions Israel's taken are wrong. I think Benjamin Netanyahu, by the way, his attempts to usurp the power of the Supreme Court this year in Israel has been a complete disaster.
You condemn them from killing civilians or not?
I do not. I will defend them this
Yes or
year.
no?
Wait, I will defend
It's
them
a simple question. Yes or no? Do you condemn civilians? Yes or no? Do you condemn civilians? Yes or no?
They have Hamas. They hate Hamas.
So I guess we can answer back. If they keep asking, do you condemn Hamas? Then we can ask them, do you condemn killing civilians? Yes or no? Do you condemn killing civilians? Yes or no? It's really that simple. Do you condemn the idea of putting a bomb on a hospital? Yes or no? So it's a very straightforward question, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue, right?
Against one of the worst terror attacks ever.
So you can kill civilians for that?
You can target Hamas.
Can you target? No, hold on.
And if Hamas,
By the way, that's false.
Ruling
It's not even close to some of the things that Israelis did.
Okay.
Not even close.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the guy is
there is no comparison.
There's no comparison to the evil that Israel is doing now.
There is absolutely no comparison. Like they literally shot.
The only
doctors that were there to help people, they shot with snipers.
Actually, to be honest, there is a comparison in history. The Nazis, yeah. The Nazis did that, yeah. Okay, yeah, there is a comparison, but that's a long time ago. Okay,
yeah.
But anyway, let's do it.
This is a false argument. This is a false argument.
Members of the public will die.
You're talking about fallacies. This is called the Motte and Bailey fallacy, which is that you're trying to defend one controversial idea by using another. It's Motte and Bailey fallacy. You can check out on your own time. The point is this: I'm not asking you whether Israel has a right to defend itself. We've already said that the logical and legal impossibility of an occupying power, according to international law, of actually defending itself. Because let me finish. It's already in an offensive posture. Now I'm saying this. If it is the case, you're just saying it's defending itself against Hamas. Is the only way to defend itself against Hamas by dropping bombs in the most densely populated area, one of the most densely populated areas in the world?
Dropping a bomb on a hospital.
They can do surgery. They can do. They can go in and they can target.
We're going to take a short break. I'm going to keep you here. I want to finish this. I want to give you the time. I think it's important.
Short break. Do you notice that immediately after he being pressured, he immediately called for a break?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I think it's almost at the end. Anyway, let's continue.
You have to answer my questions.
I will. We'll come back. Yeah, but actually, you have to answer mine. It's my show. Actually, for the record, you can ask me questions you want, but I'll tell you what I think.
I've answered all your
questions. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and we're going to finish with
short break.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan says, well, Mohammed HIJAB is still with me. We've had a lively debate.
I need to consult with my Zionist leaders what to say.
On both sides. If I tweet about anything, doesn't matter what I say. One side, if I'm even remotely sympathetic to them, the other side, poor abuse and vice versa and so on.
Also, I hate this idea of like
what happens here?
How portraying it as like, both sides are doing evil and whatnot.
Yeah,
no,
both sides are doing evil, man.
Operation of ethnic cleansing has been going on for nearly.
Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Yes or no? Do you condemn Hamas?
Dan hummus.
I love my hummus. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The media, okay, Brothers in Football TV says the media talked about what Hamas hummus did so that they get their Western audience ready to say deserved. What do you expect when Israel bombs? Yep, I agree with you, brother. Yes.
Oh, by the way, another thing, I noticed a lot of Hindu Bhakts, support Israel,
I noticed that as well. I noticed that as well. I don't know why. I don't know why the Indians were so excited when they see. Yeah, they actually openly support. The strange thing is that the Jews, they don't. I mean, the Zionists especially, they don't recognize Hinduism anyway. So why?
I mean,
why are these?
if you put the Hindus in the ancient Israelite lands, they would massacre them.
Of course, because they worship idols. I mean, just read Deuteronomy 31. No, Numbers 31. Yeah, they should read Numbers 31. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. So I don't know what.
Another thing is that you need to understand, Indian history is very similar to what happened with what is happening with the Palestinian people, and it's really unfortunate because these people have been brainwashed. They don't know their own history. If you look at Sipahi revolution that happened against the British, the revolutionaries killed a lot of British civilians.
Okay.
And then they killed like 600 or something. As a retaliation, the British killed nearly hundreds of thousands of Indians, civilians. So does it mean that what India did was wrong? Would they condemn like India for this? The same way they're like saying everything about Hamas.
Exactly.
Of course not. They will never say that their freedom fighters were like terrorists. They'll never say that.
Yeah, definitely.
And yet, when it comes to Palestine, all of a sudden they're terrorists. They deserve it and all this. Absolute stupidity.
It is. I mean, all countries in the Asian states in the world that are born out of revolution definitely has some form of violence in it, right? Yeah. I mean, look at American history, man. There was a revolution, American Revolution. The American founding fathers, they waged a guerrilla war against the British soldiers. Were they terrorists? You see.
And another thing is a lot of these people will say that look at the Arabs, they're not even helping their own people. Most of the Arab world has dictatorships, and we know that Arab leaders are mostly broken.
Like they are bought by US. Unfortunately, they are bought by US dollars. I think. I hope MBS doesn't hear me saying this. Otherwise, I can't enter Mecca for my Hajj. But they are bought over by most of the Western. Most of the Arab nations are already bought by the US dollars. So.
It's not that they're
sorry. By the way, MBS, if you are listening to this now, please don't ban me from Mecca. I want to enter Mecca. All right.
No, I mean, like, it's not that like they're bought by this thing. I think they don't know what to do or how to lead, because a lot of them are not elected democratically. They're just put themselves in a position of power, because they thought that that's what they could do. And they're dictatorships. And this is the problem with dictatorship. They don't represent interest of the people. So they don't really know what to do here. And that's why you see them taking no action. If this is like someone like, I don't know, like Gaddafi or someone like that, they would definitely take action.
Because
exactly. At least they had the people's support for a reason. I'm not saying these are good leaders, but like there's a bad reflection of like having dictators. They don't represent people.
Anyway, let's continue. Wait. There's another comment I want to share. It's my show, a new way to run away from nonsense questions. It's my show. Okay, it's an interesting way of answering, isn't it? Okay, let's continue with the video, all right? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, can I respond to one thing Brother Sydney said?
Brother Sydney says something about the Arab countries.
So what do you mean by Arab states of dictatorship? You're repeating this over again. No, I mean, it's true. I mean, like, again, I'm not criticizing any specific ruler here, but I'm going to be very clear that when I say that the rulership in the Arab states have not been effective, especially when it comes to dealing with Israel, right? I think we can see that. Now, of course, I don't know what will happen in the future, but I hope that the rulers make the right decision here. And that's what I mean. I'm not saying that, and I think that it's true. I mean, like, I'm not saying anything like controversial here. I mean, most of the countries, most of the large Arab countries.
To be fair, though, King Faisal of Saudi, he was a very good ruler.
I'm not talking about Saudi.
No, I'm referring to. No, I'm just mentioning King Faisal, because King Faisal, he was the one who started who started the Organization of Islamic Countries, OIC. So yeah, he was assassinated by his own nephew, by the way, which is very sad. But yeah, King Faisal, I think he deserves my praise, because yeah, when I look at the man, when I saw what he has done for Islam, he has done a lot. He did a lot for Islam. Yeah, in fact he initiated, this was in the 70s. He initiated a boycott against I think he told the Arab countries to not sell their oil. America nearly collapsed because of that. Yeah, well, for a short
by the
while,
way,
several months.
Brother Sidney, I think we're gonna disagree here, because no, that is dictatorship. Like Egypt does not have an elected government. Syria doesn't have an elected government.
Yeah,
like most of those effective like Arab countries don't have a ruler that was chosen by the people. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, let's try to stay away from the politics for now.
Sure.
So let's continue with the video. All right. Yeah.
Sure.
Been covering Israel-Palestine since I've been a journalist, 3 decades, and it seems to me we're as far away now as we've ever been. How do you think we get to a place?
Surprised. Look, even Hamas, some 4 or 5 years ago, they even agreed to the 1967 lines, the borders. And what you have to understand, that this cannot be scapegoated on Hamas, because before Hamas's existence, this was still going on. This was going on before Israel's existence.
Did you believe in a two-state solution?
No, I believe in. Look, even Hamas was proposing a two-state solution.
But do you believe in it?
Look, there's advantages and disadvantages. This is different. I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult one.
Could you imagine 2 states next to each other living in peace? Palestine, Israel.
I thought you didn't do
hypotheticals. Even Hamas was saying that that's a possibility. I mean, I want to bring to your attention is that
no hypotheticals, right?
The international body, or the UN, becomes a toothless agency. In 2018 to 19, when actually 221 people were killed on a peaceful protest in Gaza. It was called the Great March of Gaza. 220 people died. Hamas didn't shoot a bullet. No rocket was launched. Yeah. So 220 people died, and this is even mentioned by the UN and these kind of agencies. They tried to bring it up, the Palestinian Authority, they tried to bring this up to what we call the ICJ, which is part of the UN. Okay, what happened is the Donald Trump administration, they threatened to freeze the assets of the ICJ, which tells you the following: what are the Palestinian people to do? Because the fact of the matter is, if they try and bring it up,
let me ask you.
Let me finish the point. If they try and bring it up,
we're running out of time. That's why I'm jumping.
But if they try and bring it up to international law, it's thwarted.
I do think international law matters. Sure. I just don't believe that any peace can be achieved with Hamas in charge.
Before Hamas,
now after what happened last weekend.
Forget about last weekend. Last weekend.
Can't forget about last weekend.
No, it's not. Before last weekend, before Hamas.
Yeah, before Hamas, there was the PLO, man. I mean, you tried to do peace with the PLO, you failed. You tried to do peace with
but
with
if
Hamas.
you can make peace with PLO, you can make peace with Hamas. As a matter of fact, PLO was way more violent than Hamas.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah.
And
so
also,
if you can,
there's never been any actual proper peace with the Israeli government. That's because their manifesto itself says that it's a state for Jewish people. They don't want Arabs there. They want to kick them out.
No Arabs in Israel.
Read
because we don't want
Ben Gurion's diary. He's the founder of Israel, the first prime minister. Read his diary.
The first prime minister.
He openly says this.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. It's almost ending. All right.
1987, this was still going on,
but not on this scale.
Worse.
No, it wasn't as bad as this. What happened on
that shows ignorance
was the single worst assault on a populace since 9/11. It was.
Yom Kippur War was 2,000 people died by that. 19, that's false.
In one day.
In one day, I don't know, about 600 people died in one day.
Mohammed, I've got to leave it. We've run out of time. I gave you.
Running out of time.
This guy has no idea what the hell he's talking about. He said that this is
running out of time. Oh yeah, he ended here. Running out of time, and he ran away. Okay, I guess.
You know what he said just there is absolutely false. That there's no worse atrocities. Did you forget about Nakba? The ethnic cleansing of 700,000 people.
Exactly.
Those people still cannot come back to their country.
Exactly. Until today, man. Until today. Right.
And by the way, you know what's funny? If they do allow them to come back, they will form a majority in Israel, which means that it can no longer be a Jewish state. So they don't allow them to come back.
Of course not. Why would they allow someone to? Why would they allow some people to come back that will undermine the majority? Doesn't make any sense, right? What?
State.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to share, like I said earlier on in the stream, I wanted to share this letter from Lord Balfour. So this is the letter that began everything. Not the date, by the way, 1917. By the way, in 1917, the land, the Palestine, was still under the Ottoman rule. So you see, the British, they tried to promise something which they don't even own in the first place. Okay.
So can you read the comment from
Wait. Before. Okay. Let me read the comment first, and then I will. Let me see. Oops. Why is it not showing up? Oops. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the media didn't tell him about the Nakba, so he doesn't know. And if he did,
he wouldn't care or condemn. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
that's another thing, by the way, is that Zionists will deny that Nakba even happened.
Yeah,
Like, these scumbags would deny that this ever happened, even though there were thousands of people eyewitness to what actually happened. They saw their own eyes.
800,000 people were forcibly expelled from the country, man.
Yeah,
forcibly expelled from the country. Okay, so if there's
their
not a
own
Nakba, I
leaders
don't know what
admit
is.
that they purposefully planned for the Nakba to happen.
Exactly.
So, like,
yeah. So I'm going to read the letter from Lord Rothschild, right? So,
sure.
Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you. Let me try to do this in my very British accent. On behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the cabinet. Oh my God, I don't know whether I'm doing it right.
Can I read it?
Sorry,
Can I do it?
why don't you try doing it? Okay, continue.
His Majesty government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home. Can you make it a bit bigger?
Okay, let me try and make it bigger. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Can you see it?
Can you make it a bit? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
Establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by the Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Mixed up American accent and British accent.
Oh my God, I guess it's a mixture, man. I don't know whether I sound like a British. I think a lot of Brits in the chat will probably be laughing at me. Okay. Okay. But Sydney football has something to say. Okay. I think my grandparents were expelled out of their land in the Nakba. Okay.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, very sorry to hear that, man. It's horrible. Yeah. The national home is a bull anyway. It's BS. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what national home?
Definitely. What national home, man? They don't even have a home. Okay, they don't even have a nation in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Jordan was going to get involved.
Unless you want the Italians to claim a home there now because of the Romans. National home for the Romans.
Yeah.
Or the Canaanites.
Plus, don't forget these British Empire officers knows how to play with words. Yeah. Balfour, right? Lord Balfour. Yeah. Oh, Brother Siko has a comment on our accents just now. Reminds me of Dick Van Dyke in Many Poppins. Oh my God. Was that
what are you talking about, man? Clearly, that was a posh British accent. That was a posh and prick British accent.
But by the way, Brother Siko is from the UK, by the way. He's
you
from
are
the UK.
Being very disrespectful, sir.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm gonna die laughing in my chair, man. At this rate, oh my God. Okay, okay, Brother Sydney. He says, by the way, many white supremacists who hate Jews love Israel because they don't want them to return to their countries. Yeah, I kind of thought so. Yeah. I think he's commenting about your accent. He did a bad Cockney. Yours.
Let me read this.
Bad. Okay.
He did a bad Cockney. Yours bad posh one. Is that how it is?
I don't know.
But the sir was spot on. Yeah, exactly. I only know how to say the sir part. Okay. I think we should end it here.
I want to try this in British accent. The Egyptian government is getting annoyed by Israel's continuous bombings. Does that sound okay?
How tragic. How tragic.
Sir. How tragic indeed. How tragic. Oh, he asked a question to you.
Why doesn't Bangladesh send troops? I mean, Bangladesh currently has a secular kind of like pro-Indian government, so I'm not surprised.
No, actually, the short answer is we can't, because if we do that, then we'll get sanctioned by the UN, by America.
Not about sanctions, like we don't have any control over our government. Like, we have a dictatorship, and there's not much we can do here. The Bangladeshi people are with the people of Palestine. I can say that for certain.
I can. Well, maybe I can say.
There have been countless marches, and people are sending money. They're sending their prayers. People are definitely with the people of Palestine.
Definitely. So it's the same thing in Malaysia, but the thing is, we in Malaysia as well, we can't send troops to Palestine because we are bound by the UN Charter, and if we do that, we're going to get sanctions all over the place. Okay, so but we have Palestine as well. Same thing with Bangladeshis as well. So we have a lot of NGOs. I've lost count how many NGOs are there in Malaysia which supports Palestine openly. And last week we actually had a march. We had a demonstration in front of the US Embassy, protesting against the Israeli genocide of Israel, the Israeli genocide of Gaza, and we burned down. There were some people who burn Israeli flags and burn an effigy of, I'm not sure what the effigy was representing, but they burn an effigy regardless. So yeah, we do have that.
Okay, by the way, secular brother, Sydney Football posed a question. Secular pro-Indian. So are they Muslim or not? The leadership is secular. You know, I mean, like they don't care about the Muslims.
Sheikh Hasina. Just Google it.
A woman is in charge. So I'm not gonna comment too much because I might get in trouble. But
I can comment.
Secular government is basically
just Google Sheikh Hasina, okay, and you understand.
Understand. Also, check out a documentary in Al Jazeera by the name of "All the President's Men." You will understand exactly the level of corruption that is going on in my country and the level of how much the government is in power and how much the people have no say in what the government does.
We need Muslim majority countries who don't have good ties with the US to send troops. I don't know of any Muslim majority countries who don't have ties with the US, unfortunately, because we all are reliant on the US. Okay, I mean, there's no real country in the world except for China, perhaps, who
maybe Afghanistan
who relies on the US. Probably Afghanistan, but I don't know whether they are allowed to. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, the Taliban leadership actually mentioned something about wanting to send troops to Palestine. I think, if I'm not mistaken, but they wanted guaranteed access.
I think African leaders are very sympathetic to this cause, and also here's what I will say: when it comes to Egyptian Arab leaders, although they haven't done anything yet, I do think soon enough, if they continue this kind of barbaric behavior, I do think they might take action.
Yeah, they might.
They also open their hearts to the suffering, so that they can have the courage to help the Palestinian brothers and sisters to make actual positive change.
Yeah, I think this is the right time for Egypt and Jordan to because they have diplomatic relationships with Israel, so it's the right time for them to stop that relationship, send back the Israeli ambassador and take military action.
And another thing is that Saudi Arabia was playing a very important role for Israel. They have to, and this is advice for any other leaders as well, they have to cut ties after this, and I think they will. Because this is one of the things they were hinging on, that they have this relationship. They have to cut ties, all ties with Israel. Because after this, there cannot be any relation with this country, supposed country.
I mean, Iran doesn't, but they're Shia. We don't have to say anything about the Shia, right? So I mean, I wouldn't trust Iran, honestly. I would, between a snake and Iran, I would rather kiss the snake. Okay, so that's my view of Iran.
Okay, anyway. Let's end this.
Anyway, so let's wrap it up. So maybe so before we go, maybe you want to say summarize what we just saw in that
don't eat hummus
debate.
Ban hummus.
Apart from that,
terrorist sympathizers.
Appetizers. Oh my god, you're making me hungry, bro. I really blame you for this. I'm already hungry as it is. I'm gonna have to order some food later. Maybe hummus. Okay. I hope the shop is open. It's actually 11:28 p.m. right now.
I cannot. Oh, brother Sydney calling says Islamic calling wants to go quick. Yeah, I cannot be in the company of people who support hummus.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, you want to wrap this up? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
any summary? Yeah.
So
yeah,
as you guys saw, like Piers Morgan absolutely embarrassed himself. Like there's no like justification for what's happening in any way, shape, or form. He's clearly trying to please like the Israeli kind of like
he's Israeli
losers.
paymasters.
Yeah,
Zionist masters.
And by the way, if you guys are interested to know more about history of Israel-Palestine, I recommend you guys to subscribe to my channel. I'll be making a documentary coming out soon, inshallah, along with collaboration with brother MENJ.
Of course.
Speaking of which, by the way, I think I've planned on doing the editing myself. So all you have to do is just send me the audio. Once I give you the clips, so I'll do the rest.
Right.
Inshallah, I'll try my best to be make it as professional as possible. Kind of similar to Genius of Islam, inshallah, if I can.
Okay.
Or something like a Johnny Harris video. I don't know if you guys watched that, but so I'll try to make it as possible, as professional as possible. And hopefully that'll be like a teeth crushing response to this kind of like garbage that we're seeing in the media.
Inshallah. So anyways, for me, my channel is not really about
of course, subscribe to brother channel as well.
Of course. Yeah, but anyway, I was as I was saying, my channel, I don't usually talk about international affairs. I don't even want to. I didn't even discuss much about what's going on in the world because my channel is called The Muslim Apologist for a reason, and I still believe that my purpose is basically to question, deny, and attack Christianity and Judaism. I do strongly believe in this.
To be fair, Christianity is tied to this.
Yeah,
a lot of like David Wood, they're all defending Israel.
I'm getting to that. But regardless, because of the current, because Zionism is actually a small puzzle in the overall evangelical agenda. Because basically Zionism is being supported by Christian evangelicals. The reason being because they want to usher in an apocalyptic age with the establishment of Zionism, with the establishment of the Zionist state. And in the hopes that Jesus will come in the second coming. So this is actually tied in with the evangelicals as well. That is why, if you noticed for the past several weeks, I've been posting a lot about Palestine. I don't usually talk about Palestine because, I don't want to, talk too much about it because I feel that should be for a different channel, which, by the way, I want to mention that I'm actually going to start another channel on Palestine only. So let's see what happened. Let's see what will happen from that. But because I'm a bit busy actually, but I'll try to cram up that idea, inshallah. But anyways, going back to Piers Morgan, I think he's obviously a Zionist sympathizer. Okay, there's no question about it. Okay, he's just trying to make excuses to justify his Zionist sympathies by making claims about hummus, attacking hummus, saying that hummus is doing this, hummus is doing that.
Condemn
Therefore,
Hamas.
Condemn the hummus. Do you condemn hummus? Do you condemn hummus? Don't eat hummus, right? So so basically it just boils down to that. He has no talking points, he has no source. All he does is he just repeats the same BS propaganda over and over again. But the hijab was actually asking, where's your source? Where's your source? Where's your source? And
he has no source.
Denies. Yeah, he has no source. And when Brother Hijab tries to break it down, giving a comparison, he says, I don't deal in hypotheticals. Oh my god, okay. I mean, what the hell is
no hummus and no sauce?
This is just an excuse. No hummus, no sauce, no hypotheticals. No hummus, no sauce, no hypotheticals. Simple.
Right there, I think it's stuck. Brother MENJ, are you there? Oh, it's stuck now. Are you there, brother? Oh no, the IDF has attacked our internet. Oh no.
Oh,
I think we got attacked by the IDF.
I think we got attacked by Israel. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Okay, Israel
This
tried
is why I
to
keep saying,
sabotage
don't say
or
hummus.
something.
Don't support hummus.
hummus. the attack of the hummus. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for joining the live stream. Okay. Let's wrap this up. Okay, I have something to do anyway. So thank you very much for joining the live stream. I hope that inshallah you will come back again for a future live stream. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Don't forget to also subscribe to brother Islamic Collins channel. Oops, there. Don't forget him. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe to mine as well if you're not subscribed yet. And of course, if you would like to join my channel as a paid member, you're most welcome to the scrolling. I mean, the URL is scrolling under the video. I hope that you have enjoyed the live stream as much as we have in commenting and and making jokes along the way and trying to speak with this British accent. We like hummus. We don't eat ham. It is haram.
We try to make the life as lively and funny as possible because I think that because we're still living such a dark times, it's good.
Yeah, we need some humor in our lives. Actually, I got inspired from Brother Bassam's method as well, from the way that he had that as well, right? So that is he actually did a good job of it, right? So maybe we need to do a live stream to that as well. Live reaction to that as well.
Maybe on my
let's do that soon. Yeah, maybe that will be on your channel. All right. So anyway, thank you very much for joining the live stream. If you like this live stream, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and whatever it is you always do with YouTube channels.
Bye.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please.